Hi everyone, thank you for joining me and welcome to this reading for your horoscope spread on the Instagram post. So I didn't do a proper intro, or at least I didn't figure out how to link everything through to Vimeo from Instagram. Instagram doesn't allow for clickable links yet, so it's very hard to kind of direct you guys in the direction of the house clarifier readings. So I'm going to just attach this to the videos in which I didn't explain this for you guys. So this is why you're watching this intro. So basically this video is a sample of what you can find on Vimeo. This is a reading connected to my Instagram post for the horoscope spread for 2018, in which I read for each of the houses of your horoscope for your natal sign, and made a separate video for each house to clarify what kind of energies you should expect for 2018. Okay, so those videos are now available on Vimeo for rent. And this is a sample video that shows the center card for that horoscope spread and what you will expect in each of the videos. It's the same format for every single one. So because we can link through from Instagram, we're going to show you a sample here, and down below you can find the direct links for all of the houses for your sign. So stay tuned, and now you are going to watch the video that I taped for the center card in each of the horoscope spreads. Now if you don't want to rent the video, by the time that this video reaches, or the Instagram post reaches 500 hearts, I will be releasing some of the videos, if not all, on YouTube. So you can hold on tight, and when that post reaches 500 hearts, then I'll be able to release that for you guys on YouTube. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for your sign. Happy 2018. I'm sure you're hearing it a lot, but anyway, thank you so much. Bye. Hi Pisces, and welcome to your clarifier reading for 2018. This is a reading off of my Instagram post, so if you guys like that post and you want to see more videos like this, then go over there and give me a heart. When I get 500 hearts, then I will post some, if not all, of these videos to Instagram for free, but in the time being you guys can rent them individually or as a set. Okay, so let's take a look at your overview. I went through this entire reading on Instagram, so that explanation is there, but if you guys want, I'm gonna go through each individual card here and clarify its meaning, and look at it more closely for you within your house. So right here is the Instagram post for this reading, so you guys have a reference. And in this reading today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clarify the central card, which is the card of the universe, and show you guys a sample of what to expect in the other houses. So all of them are going to be the same, not the same cards, but the same way of doing it, so you know what to expect, and then you can decide if you want to rent a few videos and support me in the channel. Okay, so here, let me get the chest out. So I'm going to have the chest out for this reading, and I'm going to clarify with the Tarot de Baleine. It's an out-of-print deck, one of my favorite decks actually. And then I also will be popping in a question with the Doreen Virtue Angel Answers deck. So let's begin. Your core energy, don't mind this, your core energy for the year is the universe. This signals a time of completion and coming into fruition for the efforts that you have put in to your life. There may be travel involved for you, Pisces. In fact, Jupiter is in your 9th house for the first part of the year, so you should be seeing some opportunities for travel. Maybe someone from far away will come to you and make that connection. There's a larger grand design that's coming into focus for you. The world is coming together for you, and you are seeing things manifest for you. You're seeing your reality manifest for you in what you had been working towards and what you want to bring about in your life. Okay, so here are some tarot cards for you for the universe. So each house that I clarify, I will go through this step. So I'm going to clarify with 3 cards from Tarot de Baleine. Of course, you can pick one of these cards as you're watching as your main energy. You can do that kind of divination with me as well. I'm kind of looking past, present, future at this, or the 3 energies that are involved for the year for you in your overall picture. So you have the 10 of Swords. So I do sense that there is a large completion. In your 12th house you have the Tower, so there is, and in the 8th house you have the Death card. There is a massive completion to a massive cycle. Something is going to get wiped clean. You're going to move forward from things of the past, and you're going to relinquish things. You're going to really shake things off and move forward. In the present energy you have the 2 of Cups. So there is a huge influence of love upon you this year as well. I also saw that in several of your readings already with regard to the Emperor in this spread, and in your overview reading there is this underlying relationship or a connection between souls that is carrying you through the entire year. The oncoming energy, Pisces, is the Ace of Swords. So there is going to be some kind of message that comes through. This can also be read as, even though there is the obstacles to love have fallen apart, and you know, all the rational realizations of why love won't work have fallen apart for your partner or for you, and now there's this coming together, this love energy. So it's like once the mind fails, it's only the emotions that carry you through, and you should be expecting some kind of communication to come through about that. I do sense that many Pisces, especially those involved in long distance relationships, are going to see that love coming through for them. Here is your angel answer oracle. We have be assertive. So I said this in your overview reading for the year. So please be assertive this year. Put as much energy into bringing forward that which you want, and go after it. Here is a clarifier card from the top deck. We have the Knight of Swords. This is a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. So very likely you could be in some way forming a tight relationship with someone. A King of Swords could be coming in, trying to offer something. They see with clarity you, and they want to bring something for you or to you. They want to bring that love to you. Or this could be also you seeing with clarity the directions that you need to go and taking that step in that direction. Anyway, stay tuned for the first house next, and I hope that you like this reading. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Hi guys, thanks for joining me, and welcome to your reading for the North Node in Cancer and the South Node in Capricorn. This transit begins in November 2018 and ends in May 2019. Here, I'll do this in front of you guys, just for those of you who are a little distrusting. Okay, so it's about a year and a half transit, and it's going to bring a lot of wonderful things into our lives. The North Node in Cancer is full of compassion and understanding, so this will lead to positive outcomes, and this will lead to positive outcomes and a lot more sympathy in your life than before. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards. Your first card is the Koi Fish Spirit. There's always enough. This is actually the same card I just got for Gemini in the last reading. So hey girl, hey, this is the Colette Baron Reed deck. I really like it. It's pretty. I love animals, so it's a really nice stock of cards too. Okay, so we have the Koi Fish Spirit. Okay, there is always enough. So issues of scarcity, that was the Gemini message, but we'll see what it is for you. The sign we are reading for is, so this is Pisces. Hey Pisces, how's it going? Long time no hear. Actually, I just did your 2019s yesterday, and I did your December reading, which you guys are watching now as I speak. So you guys are going to get lots of videos back to back. I'd overkill maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll publish it tomorrow. Pisces, your north node is in the 5th house and your south node is in the 11th house. So attachments to friendships, that's going to really gear up throughout 2018 and 2019, and a push towards doing your own thing. The interesting thing about this transit, as you can tell, there's not many placements around the north node, and there won't be for the majority of the transit. What that means is that the push towards your dharma, the direction you're meant to go, and away from your karma gets really lopsided. It takes a lot of energy to move towards the future. But remember, these readings are metaphysical, so they're not necessarily just like from A to B. You're fine to stay here, and in fact, many of us will remain in this center when we're working on our karma. It's the deepest transit of your lifetime. Let me tell you, it's the deepest transit of your lifetime, and it has so much to do with how we as individuals, which is Saturn, are connected to our past lives, which is like a connectivity between our experience and someone who lived many centuries ago. And then Pluto, which is universal, that's all of us together in one big squish. So I feel like all of this karma, these are the 3 karmic points, and they're together in the 11th house. For you, that's friendship. And so you'll be releasing attachments and patterns to friends, things that held you back. Your 2019 is an amazing reading. It screams, it's like, Pisces, you're going to really double down on you. It's all about Pisces. Part of the reason is here, Chiron is leaving Pisces forever, for 50 years. And so most of us won't see it again. But it's moving in February 19th, moves into Aries. So you've been like a very sensitive Pisces for the last 7 years, and now it's time to kind of relinquish that sensitivity and become a little bit more, put a little muscle behind it. Okay, so for the South Node Tarot portion of the reading, I'm using the Klimt Tarot, and I'm going to pick 4 cards for that. And then I'm going to use the Blanco Nero Tarot for the North Node reading, because it's black and white, so you guys get to fill in the colors of your future. You like that? Hey, it's good. And then I'm going to do a clarifying spread on Vimeo. That's linked down below, and it's in the Timeless Karma package, because we started that in September. We're going to continue it now. So if you got that Timeless Karma package, you get to watch it now, or you can still get the package if you want. Okay, so your 4 cards are, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hey, okay, please. And then we have the Temperance card, which is the card of Sagittarius. And then we have the Emperor. Ooh, big messages. Emperor, Temperance. What else? The 4 of Wands. Happy home, happy family. And the Queen of Chalices. Hey, girl, hey, that's you. Look how pretty she is. Hey, girl, hey. Hey. So I feel like, could this be a third-party situation? Look at that Emperor. Look at that Temperance card. And like the Queen of Cups is not impressed. She's at home. He's like, what is he doing? Where is my Emperor at? So there could be a legacy of betrayal, of infidelity, those kinds of things. That could be the things that you have to let go of, is the attachment of trusting another person and kind of pushing towards doing what's right for you. And it doesn't mean that you are being cheated on. That means in a past life, in a past situation, this energy is associated with infidelity or unfair action. Somebody who should be with you is paying attention to something else, right? And so you have this kind of quirk about you. You have this feeling. Heck, the Emperor could have been you, Pisces. So in many iterations of lifetimes and all this stuff, you could have taken on both roles. Like, these things interplay. It's an energy that's all wound up together. So it's a fractal, right? So it kind of spirals in some type of direction. So I feel like you are a Queen of Cups now, and I feel like you are feeling like other people have too much sway on your territory, and that's a weird thing for Pisces, because Pisces love to share. Look, there's Juno with the North Node, and that's May 24th, 2019. So Juno is the wife of Jupiter. It's just, when I'm going to do my own thing, I'm going to just go. And you, Jupiter, the Emperor up here, you go hang out with your Temperance, you know? But listen, here's the low-key little message here that came through. The Sagittarius is a semi-square to Capricorn. What this means, Saris, this Temperance, she's gonna dump him. You know, that's the legacy. It's not gonna be a situation that's gonna lead to harmony. He's gonna be like living in a one-bedroom apartment, watching TV and eating frozen food dinners. That's the kind of future he's gonna have if he continues with his behavior. And that's none of your business, sweetheart. Your business is you. You're gonna do you, and you're gonna carry that happy home with you. Because if he's doing fuck shit, if he's at that stage of the spiritual progress, if he's at that stage of, you know, whatever it is that he's up to, remember, there is always enough. Right? Well, just can't wait to see what's going to be in your North Node. Because this is also, the North Node is also romance. So you're also heading in this direction of romance, love, those kinds of things. So if your Emperor, if somebody who is promised themselves to you is in some way betraying your heart, my dear, and you're the most generous fish in the sea, oh, I get it. It's cute, right? Then they're really messing up their karma. And your dharma, what you're supposed to spiritually do, is to take care of yourself, your passions. Be happy. This Three of Swords jumped out. Boom. Broken heart. You have to accept it. And you have to move forward and make yourself happy. That's the North Node in Cancer in the 5th house. You have to find joy in your children. The 5th house is children. You have to make the preparation to release things here in the 11th house. And, you know, joy is going to come for you because Jupiter's going to move into Capricorn in December 2019. That's going to be a beautiful transit. It's going to reconcile all the hard work that you do in 2019 will reconcile in December. And it's true for most of us. All the karmics, 2019 is a karmic year. There's no way about it. All numerology, all tarot, out the window. It's the astrology. The Pluto, the South Node, and Saturn, we're going to be humbled this year. Humbled collectively and individually. So you're supposed to take care of yourself. Your golden moment will be July and August, right? Because that's when the sun and crew roll through. That's when you're going to feel like the most. You know, June, July, let's say early August. Okay? And then there's the partnership transit here, late August, early September in your 7th house. So maybe new horizons. Okay, this is your karma. I can't give you advice on it, you know. I can just tell you that he's a putz for whatever reason, but he's your Emperor. Geez, Louise. But we're all learning. And, you know, in certain lifetimes, this was you. You were the Emperor in certain, sleazing around with every Sagittarian he could find. Here is the next message we have. I'm kidding a little bit. 9 of Cups. And then we have the World card. See, you do you. You do you in the world. And then we have the 7 of Pentacles, investment in the future. And the Lovers, I told you. This is a bang for your buck, right? Gemini, direction, love. You're going to take a lover of your own, Pisces. There you go. Fulfillment of wishes. Nice, right? This is Jupiter in Pisces. So if Jupiter's in Capricorn, we're only a couple years away before this happens. So your timeline at worst is 3 years. At worst. So what we're going to do now is I kind of broke it. Well, I haven't talked about this enough. It's just we're already in October in our chart. That's okay. See, there was Lilith. Did you see her? She's there. Evil bitch. She's in Pisces this year for a few months, for 10 months specifically. That's going to be a tougher one. That's why you don't want to fight. That's why you want to really reinforce positive attitudes and energies. You know? It's almost like, it almost feels like you know, but you don't want to confront it. So that's the pink elephant in the room. But in the direction forward, reinforcing things that you like, opening up your horizons to take a look at the world in front of you, and possibly re-identifying who cares about you the most. Who is a blood relative? Who is your relative? And who is just the stupid emperor? You know? putting his eggplant in every single, temperance angel that strolls by. So, this is the true connection. I don't know how close you are. I'm not promising you this, but I feel like it's a release. Or maybe he'll come back around and then he'll be your emperor here, But you're going to have to do a lot of you this year. You're going to have to do a lot of like, I am Pisces, hear me roar. Meow. This is you. There is always enough. Girl, don't sweat it. So what we're going to do now is use the Cosmic Tarot to do the clarifier spread. And with the clarifier spread, do you see Jupiter? He's almost in Capricorn, and Venus will be in Capricorn. It's going to be a Christmas to remember in 2019. Holy moly. Okay. Yeah, something like that. And Ceres. Ceres is the new planet that I'm including in my readings because it's just it's a small planet like Pluto. It deserves to be there. Plus, it's a feminine planet. It's a positive planet, marking fertility, opulence, nutrition, good things. Let's pick some cards. So these are your cards for the clarifier spread. The clarifier spread I did for you guys on my dailies in 2015, I think. I really like this spread, so we're going to do it on Vimeo. So if you guys are popping off to go watch it, thanks for stopping by. And yeah, I'm just going to pick the cards and then we will go over to Vimeo down below. I hope you guys have an amazing 2019 and 2020. It's a lot of you, setting the pace for other things. It's about you taking account of what you have and pushing forward to what you feel passionate about. Okay? Doesn't have to be a Gemini. It can be anybody that you're very closely tied with. Okay? A heart-based connection, Pisces. Have a nice 2019. Don't worry about him. And if you're not being cheated on this year, or right now, or in general, this is karmic, right? So it has to do with a past life. This is the direction you're going. This is your path forward. Okay? So we started there in some 1,000 years ago, and then we're going there in some future place and time. Have a nice year. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye, Pisces. Hi guys, thanks for joining me and welcome to your reading for the full moon. I think I'm going to call this video the Miracle Full Moon. This is the first sign I'm reading for, and we're going to take a look at your astrology and tarot for the full moon in Gemini. It's just a full moon right at the beginning of Gemini on November 22nd or 23rd, depending on where you live. For most of us, it's going to be in North America on the 22nd, and then for everybody else, it's on the 23rd. This is a special full moon because it is in the sign of Gemini, as I said, but it's also on a very special aspect to the nodes with the sun, of course, and creating something called a mystic rectangle. Now, this energy allows for healing. It allows for miracles to occur. So the intention for this reading is to see what kind of miracles are happening in your life. So let's pick some cards before I know what sign we are looking for. Ooh, so we have the Nine of Cups, a fulfillment of wishes. Then we have the King of Wands. He's a Sag, a Leo, or an Aries energy, but it could be a woman and it could be literally any other sign. And then we have the Emperor. So I feel as though there's a very powerful connection. The Emperor card is ruled by the sign of Aries, as we know. And so what this means is that there is someone who I think has very strong intentions towards you of a family nature. I think this person is considering you for partnership, or they may be seeing themselves in a very serious role in this relationship or situation. I feel like there has been a lot extended between you and this individual. There's a lot of history, even if the relationship hasn't been around too long or isn't a formal relationship. I feel like those deep feelings are really there. Okay, so let's see what sign we are reading for so I can connect the astrology. So we have the sign Leo. Okay, so this could be you, Leo, whether you're a man or a woman. the King of Wands does resonate as Leo strongly. So let's take a look at your chart. I'm going to just set it up for your sign. There we go. And so let's take a look. Somebody asked me why I don't play music in my videos right now. It's because of Article 13 in Europe. There's just some issues to do with liability and YouTube, so right now I'm not playing music until we find out what happens with that. But I do miss it, and I'm sorry that it's not available. But some of you guys like music, some of you don't, and I just wanted to mention that in this video. So Leo, so for you, the nodes just have changed into Cancer. So the North Node has just moved into your 12th house. I did a special reading for this that is available in the Leo playlist down below. But if we're taking a look at this full moon, we see the Sun conjunct Jupiter in Sagittarius in your 5th house. Now, whenever you have this conjunction, it happens once a year. When the Sun creates a conjunction with Jupiter, that's a very special day. It's a miracle day, and it's a day of extra good luck, not only for the sign that Jupiter is in, but also for the area of life for all signs in which this is occurring. So for you, this is happening in the 5th house of romance. So no wonder there is some kind of really amazing connection that is being presented to you or coming out in a more kind of forthright manner compared to the other situations you are involved in. I have a sense that in some way this is a person who's standing out, and this is a person who's standing out who in some way it's almost as though the noise of people around you is clearing, and one person is standing out much more prominently than everybody else involved, and your heart is connected to this individual in some way and really seeing what they represent or what they can bring into your life. Now, a full moon happens when the Sun is opposing the Moon, and Moon is in 0 degrees of Gemini here in your 11th house of friendship, and the mystic rectangle is right here. So you can see this rectangle, it's very prominent. And the special thing about this mystic rectangle is that it's off the node. So you have 29-degree Capricorn South Node in your 6th house, and the 29-degree Cancer North Node in your 12th house. So the beginning of this transition will be very monumental. Your first lessons will come in terms of what you need to release, which is the South Node, and which direction you need to bring attention to. For more information, again, watch the North Node, South Node video that I did for your sign. But for the full moon, this wonderful connection between the Sun and Jupiter informing the Moon in your 11th house of friendship. Very likely this person is from your friend group, so they are already established person in your life. And whenever we have the mystic rectangle like this represents a time when we have an opportunity to go over something time and again to get it just right. So maybe this is a relationship that didn't work perfectly the first time around, or maybe the communication wasn't great the first time around. This second time through, it's really coming together much better for you. Also, Mercury is retrograde, which is oftentimes considered a bad thing. However, when you are talking about love, and especially if you're talking about love with people from your past, or people with whom you've had a hard time communicating your feelings to, Mercury retrograde allows us to go back and really reconsider, reopen, and renegotiate our feelings. So this is in the 5th house of romance and love, and so you're getting a second chance, I think, and especially if this person is a friend. If this person is somebody you don't know, I really highly recommend that you approach them as a friend. And a huge aspect of this whole interaction will have to do with your spirituality. So speak with them from a spiritual place and release attachments to who said what, when, and how, you know, attachments and shyness with regard to the way things have been. So let's take a look a little bit more clearly at what's going on for you in this individual, this person. Let's clarify with some Bianco Nero. I really like this deck. I don't think anybody's bothered yet that I'm using it so much, but I really enjoy it. So your first card is the Four of Wands. So it feels as though there was a really good connection with this person. The Ace of Swords, a big message that needs to come through, some kind of truth. I feel as though people really are thinking about where things are going in their lives, and I think that the motivation that the Emperor has, the person, it's either you or the other person, the motivation that they have is to no longer be self-sufficient and have a common ground with someone else. Let's see the next message. We have the Magician. This is also a combination that's telling me that someone in some way has a lot and they want to share with someone who they feel doesn't have as much as they do. It actually makes me really, really weepy. You can hear it in my voice. It was just very sweet and endearing energy of generosity in the Six of Rods. So let's stop at that for now. On the bottom we have the Three of Pentacles. Very likely this is a person in your workplace, Leo. So there's a lot of compassion I'm sensing in this situation, and it's really beautiful. I feel like this is a person who wants to bring you out of circumstances, or it's either you are wanting to bring this person out of circumstances that may in some way leave them in difficult dynamics of survival and trying to be successful or trying to secure for themselves certain things. And I feel like somebody is coming at your relationship from a position of power in order to empower another person. So I do feel like this is a strong reading for partnership, for relationships, but also for community. And your outcome card is the Six of Rods, which to me tells me that there will be a spiritual victory in this situation. This could be also something to do with work, in which a person who is integrating you into like the office or your workplace, and there's really kind energy here, like a friendship, but it's at work, if that makes sense. So it's not necessarily that this is a romance for all of you. For some of you this will mean that maybe you're working in an office and now you are being integrated into the office clique, and maybe somebody is being kind of using some of the energy that they have, or some of the position that they have, to kind of bring you in. And here are the kind words. By the way, this card, the Eight of Rods, is ruled by Mercury in Sagittarius, and Mercury in Sagittarius is considered at detriment in astrology. It means that excuse me. And the Eight of Rods, let's see. I disappeared. You guys can hear me. Let's see. There I am. Hi, I don't have to start again. Good. I was like, oh, Farouche, why is your hand still there? Okay. So I feel like the Eight of Rods is those kind words that are coming into your life to encourage you and support you. Okay? Let's finish up with some oracle cards, just to see what else we can get. We have, consider your foundation. You are being asked to look how committed you are to love. So I feel like maybe there is a little bit of a sacrifice that you have to make in order to make this relationship work. I feel like it's a no-brainer situation in which you know, the person is offering you everything you want and more, and I feel like it's coming right at the right time when you're feeling as though you're searching for someone who would be a partner and who would be helpful for you. And I think that those kind words are coming into your life to love and support you. Here's another little oracle card, and touch the sky. So this person can also be an air sign, and I feel as though there's this kind of energy of trying. You should try, and remember this Three of Pentacles here. You should be really trying, Leo, and not shortchanging your ambition. Remember that mystic rectangle I just mentioned? That in some way you are called upon to try and try again. The North Node is your spiritual progress point where you're meant to develop to, and the South Node is where you're coming from spiritually. And so I feel like this mystic rectangle and this magical time with Jupiter is really allowing you for a miracle to occur in your life by and through that, or during which time you should probably be giving things a shot, being a little bit more daring, being a little bit more, test the energy, see what Jupiter conjunct the Sun can bring in your life, because it's really a wonderful energy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had fun making it for you. Sorry about my voice and all this stuff. Mercury retrograde. Hey girl, hey. And check out your other videos. They're going to be linked here. I think the Leo videos are already out for 2019, but there'll be more. Excuse me. Check out your playlist, and you'll get more videos there. Okay? Thanks so much, Leo. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care. Bye. Hey everybody, and thank you for joining me for this grand tableau for all signs for September. And I'm excited to be here and bring it to you. This is our first look at the grand tableau. If you guys remember last month, you guys had really good feedback for this, so I hope you're enjoying this. I'm actually going to post this on Facebook as well, so say hi to Facebook, everyone. And then you can get the extended version of this as a part of your September package, which is a part of the other videos for September. Anything that you get in the September package, if you get the buy all rather than rent the individuals, then you will have everything that I add into that package after you purchase it. That's true for all the Vimeo packages, so you can feel free to get that first. I've just noticed some people have been renting every single day, and it adds up because the buy all is cheaper than renting 3 times. So hopefully that clarifies that for you. So I wanted to show you guys where that is in your September package. Also, I want you guys to ring the bell. So like down below over here somewhere, you should see a bell, and it should have those 2 little lines over top of it. And that means that you're going to get notifications. A lot of people are saying they're not getting notifications. So this is for all the YouTubers. So if you guys want to get notifications from me, and you definitely do, you want to make sure that that bell has those 2 little lines in, so you just click on it to get that, okay? Okay, so big business in the house. Hey girl, hey. I'm not going to look at your guys' comments because I'm going to be super concentrating right now. So I hope you guys are excited. I'm excited. This is our all signs grand tableau reading for September. I wonder how you guys are feeling about it. I wonder. Okay, so why don't we just begin? So I've shuffled. I want to show. I'm going to use the Kitsch Tarot, the Kitsch Lenormand. Well, the star card popped out. So the star to me always signifies that there's going to be some kind of massive success coming our way. All day, every day. Hey. Anyway, I want you guys to comment and leave a like too. That's important, especially if you're watching this a day or 2 after it's been posted. If you're watching it, make sure to comment. Those comments are really, really important. So, okay, so let's set it aside and let's get cracking. This is a big spread. So our first message, oh no, we got this scythe right at the beginning. So in September, we're overdue for some type of change. So let's see what that change is about. Then we have the tree. Okay. Okay, so but nothing that will completely, somebody's coming in, somebody who is coming in is bringing in change, but your roots are quite deep, so it's not like you're gonna get, you know, kind of unearthed or or you have to move in some way. There could be some difficulties with regard to like a long distance journey, a long distance voyage, and some good fortune coming to you around your home. Okay, this is the rider. Hopefully you guys can see this. I have to have autofocus off or it goes haywire. So I feel like maybe something's really tied to your roots. Something is really tied to your karma that's coming through, something new. A new part of your karma is coming through, or, you know, some kind of other, a new person is showing up to represent that in your life. Work might have some challenges. We'll look at that a little bit more. There could be some challenges at work, but I think you'll get through it. And in fact, this is probably to do with an improvement from the circumstances you've been experiencing in August. And so again, okay, so you're going to be very shrewd with work. And what do we have? Okay, so I feel like, you want to move forward with some type of opportunity as soon as possible. You don't want to leave that kind of standing around. And that's very important. Somebody who has a lot of power is going to bring you some type of joy or present. Let's see. Okay, so we have the stork here. The stork. Okay, so some kind of change that you were hoping to have happen may not happen as quickly as you had hoped. Be careful for gossiping around your house. That was this one. I got this and this mixed up. The birds and the stork. Same thing. Different shoe. And I feel as though, yeah, somebody's going to be putting a lot of pressure on you. I think probably at work. You can definitely deal with it. It's underhanded and it's not to be really concerned about. I think a lot, you're being not watched, not like paranoid. People are paying attention to what you're doing, and you know what they say about that. That means that you're doing something well. So don't be afraid. Just keep on keeping on. Okay? And so I feel as though there is somebody who's quite youthful, who's very much on your side. So somebody is very much got your back. They will be very young and energetic. There's also, okay. So, the fox, eh? So somebody could be jealous of your good luck and fortune, and this is the person who in some way could be adding pressure to your work. Remember, I don't think that it's actually a thing. I don't think that it's actually a thing. I think this is somebody who is kind of trying to make you feel a certain type of way about your situations and circumstances. So the more that you feed on it, the more that you will in some way succumb to it. At the same time, there could be an offer from a very kind of nice person who's coming through. There could be an offer of deeper commitment. This is someone who is, they're nice. Somebody is offering something good. We'll see more about that in a minute. Then we have, it's important. At some point, you are going to have to face some kind of very difficult, not opponent, but some factor in your career that requires a lot of cunning, which means that you should watch how you talk about things. Really watch how you talk about things and to who you talk about things. The walls have ears. And then I feel as though there's going to be a decision about which path you're going to go. This is probably something to do with August more than now, but that decision is starting to be made. And I think that there would be an opportunity to relocate as well. So you have to start thinking about that. I feel as though friendship really through the roof. I feel like you're going to have, and I feel like the goat's a part of it. The Capricorn right there. Hey, Capricorn, the goat. So yeah, so we have the sun. Sorry if that's being cheesy, but yeah, so we have I feel as though there's a like good friendship that really supports you through the whole month. And then sorry, I surprised myself with something. And so I feel as though you have people on your side who have expertise and knowledge. They're very mindful, they're very kind, they're sharp, and they're witty, okay? And I feel like maybe if you spread your wings a little bit, there will be good information that you accrue. So don't corner yourself into like one little niche or one little thing, because you might find that you have cornered yourself, right? Yeah, again, it's saying that there could be some delays with regard to a trip or a voyage that you want to take. But this is only temporary and you just need to find a solution. Oh, shoot. Is this okay. Did I, well, the second child I'll pull. If I didn't, I think I forgot to pull the second child. Whatever. There's going to be 2 children. There you go. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey. So, okay. So, back over here. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. A child is your friend. And I think that you're going to be making decisions because of children's influence. And I think that those decisions are going to be very important to your well-being. Okay, so you're constantly dealing with people kind of in some way trying to get at what you have. So there's continuing to be some kinds of energy that has to do with limitations, you know, kind of picking at your pockets. Let's take a look at the next card. We have the Garden here. So I feel as though there's lots of opportunities in love. Be careful though, because I think that in my experience, when one person kind of comes through and makes some type of emotional offer, very likely other people come through and they're like, me too, me too, me too, you know? And that can be very discouraging, not discouraging, but distracting. And in some way, I feel like you don't want to give... You may find that if you pass on this, all the other opportunities will disappear as well. So make your choices really, really carefully. Okay, so again, commitment from someone. You're getting an offer of some type of commitment, and I feel like secrets are going to be communicated in writing through friends and through whatever is coming to you. Okay, so you may receive a letter that feels as though it is stopping you from doing something. However, it's coming through the good favor of someone who's watching out for your best. So I think that you need to really pay attention to what this letter says, because I feel like it's going to tell you the low of what you need to do. It's going to tell you like the blueprint of everything. And yeah, it's going to be hard to accept, but it's coming from a very prestigious place. So you should really listen to whatever advice. So I'm going to keep, how do you do this? Okay, so the man is a child. The man is a child, I'm telling you. No, I'm just kidding. This is the second child, so I have to take it out because we don't have enough cards. And I don't want to really backtrack. But I hope that those of you who need to know who are dealing with a man, the man is a child. I know that's good advice for most situations. So the man is a child. Here we go. Next message. So there's a cross. Okay, so there's been some serious things involved in this situation. There's serious responsibilities. You know, like little things to do with it are just really hard to put up with, really hard to deal with, and it's not necessarily anybody's fault. It's just being human. And so I think that with regard to the masculine energy in your life, there will be some kind of burden that will be a part of things. It's not going to be necessarily just an easy situation, or maybe that's the history of the situation and now things are clearing up, but there's still delays with regard to travel, trips, and whatnot, all of those things. Okay, so next card is the Woman. Okay, so I feel as though that's a funny spot to put. I feel as though the Divine Feminine is really within her energy, and she really needs to stick to her guns on a situation. I think that this isn't about being flexible with other people's demands. I think that she's done her part, and so now things are coming in for her. Here is the next message. Ooh, I love this. So it's through expertise, growth, and knowledge that we learn to allow things to come into our life. So there is a process of learning here. You've kind of made a gamble with things. It wasn't like a gamble for fun. It was like you made a decision or a gamble towards a certain type of decision, and you fought for it, not physically, but like tried to win over. And it was through like wise decisions that you have gained so much experience in a situation. you didn't throw away something of value. You put it on the line and you said, you know, if this situation is warranting my energy, then I will demand that it in some way produces or yields an outcome that is desirable for me, or that is a compromise. I've compromised enough, you know. The negotiation table, very important stuff. Okay, next we have the Clover. So again, very good luck, very good, lots of positivity. It seems as though as the month progresses, the hardship will be gone, and I think things will greatly improve, including this. It's almost like things are falling into place, and everything's in the right place and things are working out. And then the Bouquet. So I feel as though there's going to be a recognition of your value, and I think that your profile is about to in some way become like important. I feel as though in some way there is like the final giving over of a certain type of energy for you to walk through, the last opportunity, but not in a scary way. It's the last opportunity for you to kind of settle out a situation. If you don't go out for it, then you won't take it, but then in some way, and then if you go for it, then you will take it. But I would be careful in this situation. There could be ulterior motives. So even though it feels as though it's a very comfortable situation, there's a lot of people who are starstruck in this situation. A lot of people who may be motivated by ambition. And I hate ambitious people. No offense to anybody who's ambitious, but like, I think ambition produces really weird behaviors in people. So we first have Mice. So I feel as though the key to understanding the month and working through it in a positive way is to understand what is motivating people and what they are trying to get from you. So before you actually open your mouth, before you make promises, before all of this, you really understand what people are about. The next message is the House. Okay, so I feel as though great success in the House to do with money and business, improving of situations. Good, very good. And so let's see. And then we have the Heart. See, we're getting mixed messages here. I think that maybe in some way you're kind of, I think that somebody sees a prospect. They see something positive, but I think it's also tied to love and loving energy. Here is the last card with the cross. We have the Coffin. So maybe an end to a burden in a situation. Whatever you decide, it's going to be a very good outcome. Look at this fit. Oh my God, I'm living for this. It fits so nice. Do you guys remember September or August? And I was so disappointed. I didn't let you guys know, but I was like so mad. So this one, it's like it fits perfectly. Okay, good. I need to get more cards in this size because we know it fits perfectly. So this usually goes at the bottom of a grand tableau, but I have it on the side. So this is position 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you're looking it up online, that's how you need to go, but everything else is in the regular position. So let's play with this for a little bit, and then what I'm going to do is go back to the drawing board, turn off the stream, and do another reading after I've done some notes and some kind of analysis of this that's deeper. These readings take a very long time, so I'm going to put that extra reading on the Vimeo September package. I already talked about that in the intro, but if you're just joining us, that's how you can get the deeper analysis like I did last month. So I'll keep this on YouTube. So our first impressions, Lenormand Grand Tableau is up. I think you'll still get lots of messages. I think you probably got a ton of messages already. I love when you guys leave me your comments about what you're finding. So that really helps me make the other one. So if you feel like you want to do that, and I will publish the video on the 4th of September for the kind of more detailed and kind of researched Lenormand spread. I'll look up certain things like the key on the coffin. It's like, what does that actually mean? Does that mean that an opportunity is over, or it's the last time that an opportunity is presenting itself? I feel like in a certain way it could be one or the other. It could be a little bit of both. But I think that this right here is very, very telling. This coffin right here on the cross, this came up really strong. The coffin and the moon came up really strong for you in August, and I think it's continuing in some way, but I think it's being reconciled. I feel like the destiny is changing, and especially the cross tends to be a burden. So some burden is being lifted from your life, and that burden would have been difficult. And it's beautiful if you think of archetypes like tarot. You see that children come in as your friends. So it's like in some way youth is coming into your life. In some way there is like an insurgence of youthful energy, new things to hope for, and I feel as though there's really, really good attention in new direction. Hold on. Okay, so something new is being presented to you as an option. Children are being presented to you as an option. And so I feel as though, the mice will play, right? And so they will present. You see the limitations that the mice are bringing forward in some way, and so you are contending with those limitations that the mice have brought up. But it's not new, it's carried over from the past months. And remember, this is an important card because this is kind of like the initiative card, which means that this is where we're starting the month off with. So it's this kind of abrupt change. Somebody brings an abrupt change, or possibly something that was about to change comes to a screeching halt. But looking at these cards, like this one right here, even this one right here, it's like it can be very favorable. Like people could be watching and talking and gossiping, but gossip is like a huge part of community, right? So sometimes you can't speak for yourself. Sometimes it's inappropriate to speak for yourself. It's rude, and sometimes if you have a second voice chirping in, sorry for the pun, but like if you get a second voice chirping in and validating whatever it is that has been going on for you, then in some way there's this kind of watchtower effect, in which case other people kind of yield and they pay attention a bit more. So it could be very favorable. In fact, I think it is. I do think that there's some barriers to travel at the beginning, but those barriers just takes some kind of thinking around a situation to resolve it, to figure it out. So let's see. So and this heart in this position, it just feels like, this is the position of like relationships, long-term relationships, the effect of your effort. So you've put your heart out there quite a lot, and it shows. And I think that the right people are already at your side. The right people are already in your life, and in some way they're presenting themselves in different ways. She's lovely, this Lilies. I know Lilies often represents a man, but I feel like in this case this is a woman, and she's absolutely divine. She's a wonderful, wonderful lady. And so I feel like she's going to tell the truth like no other. I think that but also she has her blind spots, and in some way I feel as though she is building up some kind of burden with regard to your relationship to a person. So it makes you a little bit more skittish, specifically a man. So be careful of kind of whispers in your ear. This is all communication stuff right here. So I think that in your ambition, you don't want to be thwarted by a good, willing, a wonderful person. This person is not coming from a bad place, but they have heavy burdens that they are carrying within their heart. They have been manipulated quite a bit. They have their whole head all kind of confused with lots of information. And so I think that without knowing, they're still conveying aspects of the thing that they've experienced. And so therefore maybe these kinds of weights that are placed upon you are reflections of the company you keep more so than your experience. I think you're confident. I think if, especially if you're a woman, I think you're confident. I love this card, by the way. This is like, look at her waist. My goodness, she's so cute, right? So, okay, so yeah, you're confident. There's no going back. It's like, yes, you know, I'm here, I'm proud, I'm real. I've got the anchor on my side, you know. I've got my cross to bear, but hey girl, hey, who doesn't, right? She's like super confident, super proud. I think she knows that she's in a good place, and I think she really understands that nothing can fundamentally frustrate her. It's like, even in this position, even though your proximity to something that could potentially be difficult or problematic is clarified almost immediately, but good luck. So it's like, you know, those moments when you can kind of screw up in life and then the angels come in and they like save your butt. You're kind of in that zone, you know, you're in the zone for success. You can let go a little bit. You don't have to fight so hard. You've earned your keep. And so now in some way you can, you know, relax a little bit. Some disconcerting things from the beginning of the month is the fish right here. I think that there is probably some latent problems from the past month, especially around work. So the fish often represent business, finances. So in this case, I think that things will improve throughout the month. And I feel like you shouldn't step into some kind of lack mentality or some kind of lack mentality or some type of, lack mentality, like fearful that you don't have enough. It's a slippery slope. I don't think it's going to happen, but if you do, for whatever reason, have the predisposition to kind of fear that, then I feel like maybe that's not your best situation. I'm really thinking about this because on the one hand, I'm like, ooh, that's nice. That's like the ring in the bear position. And I'm like, oh, that's super nice. I'm like, that's like a protector. Often the bear represents a woman. So shout out to all my ladies who like ladies and guys who like ladies. So if you might be getting proposed to, hey girl, hey. But I think it's true for us hetero ladies as well. I think that there is some type of offer that's coming through. But then I'm seeing all this all around. It's like, amid all this clusterfuck, sorry for the lack of a better word, there's this snake here with the stars, and I'm like, what, snake and stars, and then the stars over the fox position. It's like, you're like in the middle of, the word comes to mind, I have to say it, booby trap, but to me it seems like you're in the middle of a minefield. That's what I wanted to say. And then right below is the whip over the mice. So it's like, which way do you want to go? And above you is the tower in the snake position. So it's like, I think you have no other option pretty much. I think your only option is somebody's going to bail you out of a bad situation. And I think that, like, I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I feel like, which way are you going to go? Like, I guess there's one path, a child, and then you can like just kind of open your heart and see who's out there. But this seems like somebody's like got your back, they're stepping up, and I think it's going to be quite cute for you that way. And that's where she has her confidence that no matter who is around her, who is going on around her, and there's Mr. Man, right, with the ring. So no matter who's around her, she's like, it doesn't matter, I'm fine. He's there with the ring. I'm here being a lady, and it's all good, right? And so the stork is also a decision point. But I think that decision has been made already about the situation. And then look at the friends you have. You have like such badass friends. Oh my God, look at this. So you have this lady. I would not mess with this woman. Look at the lilies in her hair. I mean, you just don't mess with the lilies, right? And then you have this chick with the sun card, and it's like, she's the timekeeper, so you don't really want to mess with her either. And I think that, you know, they're ladies, they're refined, they're nice. And so, and the bear is just giving gifts. So I think that, yeah, I think it's maybe an end to some bad things. Some of them may trickle over into September, but I think that overall you're having an amazing month. And I think that, yeah, an amazing month. And I'm so happy to see the coffin turn into the bouquet from last month, because the coffin was here last month and that was spooky. And this month you have the bouquet, which is like gifts, you know, happiness, joy, invitations. So I think that's in the moon position, right? Which is like creativity, arts, intuition, romance. So you're getting whisked away for sure from something kind of maybe just like antiquated. That's how I feel. All of this stuff around you is antiquated. It's played out. It's old. It's time to move on. Carry on. You know, you're not switching your job necessarily, but like the emotional impact of what has been going on is done. You're like, I'm not having this. This is not interesting anymore. Like you're fighting over crumbs, and it's kind of stupid. There's this house position here. This really suggests that in some way you're connecting with a powerful man somewhere around your house, maybe, or possibly you're starting a business that is focused from the home, so working from home in some way. And so I feel as though these mice, I think that these little mice that are kind of still stirring about, just like people like poking around, trying to find out your business, whatever, you in some way are getting information from them at this time. So I sense double agents, but maybe not ones that mean to be so. So very you know, when mice steal crumbs, they drop crumbs behind. So you just become aware as to what is really the business. This also suggests that there's a high degree of industriousness throughout the whole month, and I would support that given the transits in September. We're just about to have Saturn direct. At the end of the month we have Pluto direct, all in Capricorn. The goat, where's the goat? Look at this. I keep on going back to the goat. Where are you? The goat. For those of you guys who don't know, GOAT stands for greatest of all time. So that's the joke when I'm saying it. Not everybody knows that. So it's like the GOAT, right? So the greatest of all time. So you're kind of in this position. This is the position of the dog, which means friend, right? And you have the sun. So I think that you're friends with the greatest of all time. I just don't think, maybe you know it. Maybe that's why she's so confident. It's like, hey girl, hey, you know, I've got the goat on my side. So yeah, we'll see about that. But anyway, so yeah, that feels really good and super stoked. I think a change that you thought was going to happen may change in a certain way. I think that you thought that you were going to have to make a certain change and you were planning for it. But I think that like your how do you say this? Your 10th house, your reputation has preceded you, and really good energy has come in to help and support you at the same time. I mean, if like, let's say, yes, bad things happen to good people, but like if you keep on throwing out this kind of energy into the universe, it's really hard to knock you off your game, right? Because if you're constantly giving good feedback and good energy to others, then in your time of need, when you feel like, oh shit, you know, my time is done, that's when good things come through. That's when, you know, all the people who are around you and whatever their faith is, they're well wishing for you. They're like, oh shit, we gotta help this person. We gotta help them out. So I feel like this is the energy that you're tapping. Be a little bit patient, because some of this is like start, stop energy. And so you might be excited about everything that is happening. You want to just kind of jump on the boat and like get there and get to where you're going. I think it's quite exciting for you, but also I think at the same time it's important to be mindful that you are contending with sometimes other people's rules. So you have to in some way accede to their requirements, their rules, their needs, whatever, and kind of see it through. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this reading. I'm going to go study the crap out of this table now, and hopefully I'll film another one and post it either tonight or tomorrow, and I'll link it in the About section when it's ready, okay? So come back and check it out. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and remember, ring my bell, okay? So just ring my bell. I'm so stoked to have this bell. I'll be like, and I have a bell over here, but it has an obnoxious bell ring, so I'll just go. You guys can pretend. I'm not going to do that to you guys, okay? Have a nice night. Bye. Hi, Taurus, and welcome to this reading for July through December. This is your astrological preview for the latter part of the year. Before we begin this really brief video, it's going to last about 10 to 15 minutes. I just want to mention some of the other videos that are available for you to watch in the latter part of the year. I did an overview higher arcana reading like I do every year. That's linked in the About section. It describes the whole year, its themes, etc. And then there's also a complimentary astrological reading for the first part of the year. That's linked in the About section. I also did a Vimeo house by house reading that covers these houses one by one. I did an Instagram post and I picked a tarot card for each of the houses for Taurus, and then I made a short video clarifying each house so you can figure out what each house represents for you. If the Instagram post of that reading got 500 hearts, some, if not all of those videos are available for free on YouTube. And if not, then they're available to rent on Vimeo. And thank you guys so much in advance for supporting me. And that is a way that you can support me in the channel and get something out of it in the way of a mini reading for each area of your house, of your chart, each house of your chart. Okay, so this is your chart for 2018. We're looking at the month of July. Let's have a look. I actually need this. So we're looking at July 12th. And this is the time when we have a new moon partial solar eclipse in Cancer. This is in your third house of communication, brothers and sisters, and short distance travel. So you're initiating new things with this new moon eclipse. The key word for that is eclipsing something in, which means that you are making a very quick and drastic change to bring about a different change, to bring about some kind of specific outcome in your life. Okay, I'm going to talk about this more as it happens, but just note down July 12th as a special date for you in the third house. On the 10th, we see Jupiter going direct in your 7th house. This is the house of partnership. This is going to be a time when opportunities with regard to love and relationship and possibility in the world for business partnership picks up for you as well. And then finally, we have a retrograde period that we start this period off with. Chiron will go retrograde in Aries on July 5th and continue retrograde until December 9th, so almost 6 months, and at which point it will go direct at 27 degrees Pisces, so it'll go back into your 11th house. During this time, it will be the last time for a while in which you will be working out issues or past hurts associated with friendship and social connections, okay? The next transit that we want to take a look at is the 26th of July. This chart is for the beginning of August, but the point can be made. All of the retrograde periods for Mercury this year are in fire signs. So the July retrograde period is in Leo, and it's happening in your 4th house of family relationships. So 4th house Mercury retrograde is a pretty good one, actually. It allows you to rehash things that were kind of set in stone in family situations and house dynamics. It's not really a good time to push forward in new directions, but it gives you some wiggle room in order to address things that didn't work out, or maybe kind of dead ends that you've reached with family members or around the house. This retrograde period lasts from July 26th until August 19th and will remain in Leo. Also at that time, Lilith, right at the top of your zodiac, moves into Aquarius. So this is a time when you need to be very careful in terms of career. She is creating a conjunction with Mars. This is going to be a very interesting time. And when I use the word interesting, I'm saying it might be a little difficult and problematic in terms of your career. So have your wits about you and go slow. Definitely don't use challenging energy, and don't get into it with anyone. That can backfire for you quite a bit. And then finally, we have Uranus on August 7th, moving into Taurus at it goes retrograde, sorry. It moved into Taurus in the spring, but now it's gone retrograde until January 2019. I don't think that Uranus will go back into your 12th house. I think it remains in Taurus through this retrograde period. This is at the beginning of your first house. This is a time to take a look at yourself in how you can do things a different way, and how to approach life a different way. And you kind of get a second chance, a new opportunity to assess the way that you're doing things. Then we have another solar eclipse that happens in Leo this time, and this is in your 4th house. So just like the previous solar eclipse, with this one we are eclipsing something in terms of family and home life. And so this is a new moon partial solar eclipse, right? And it's in conjunction with Mercury. So in terms of beginning something new, buying a new house, or getting ready to buy a new house, remember it's still retrograde, so you may not want to, Mercury retrograde, so you may not want to sign on the dotted line quite yet, but definitely the ideas start percolating and the energy starts coming in for a new direction. Okay, so the next shift that I really want to talk about is the shift of energies in terms of planets going direct. And this is all happening in your 9th house. Now, for those of you Tauruses who are in school, Taurus sun, moon, and rising, this is going to be a peculiar time in which some kind of stalemate situation at school can really start moving forward. So if you're watching this a little earlier and you're planning your fall term or late summer term, or maybe even applying to graduate school, if you feel as though you can't achieve something in terms of academics, this is a time when there's enough energy shift that miracles can happen in terms of your academic career. So let me just clarify for you what's happening. On August 27th, Mars will go direct at about 28 degrees of, maybe 27 degrees of Capricorn. And then on the 6th, we have Saturn moving direct in Capricorn as well. And then finally on September 30th, we see Pluto going direct in Capricorn in your 9th house. This can also be a big push towards long distance travel, kind of setting your mark on the world, having some kind of breakthrough in terms of ideas and concepts that you're trying to work out. But imagine the image of a steam engine, a steam train getting out of the station, the amount of force that these 3 planets, which are moving direct relatively at a similar time, are creating in this one specific area of your chart. It really is an energy to harness and to pay attention to. Next, we have Venus retrograde. And so this will happen for you in October. So you'll have a nice little break between this the stellium moving forward in September and August, and the Venus retrograde in October. Now for you, this is in your 7th house of partnership in Scorpio. I would definitely not be taking on a new partner between October 5th and November 16th. When Venus is retrograde in your 7th house, chances are that the partners that you bring in will be gone by the time that Venus turns direct on November 16th. Having said that, if there's a partner who is outstanding in your life, someone you missed the opportunity to catch, Venus retrograde can help you rehash or find closure for those relationships, or even begin that relationship that kind of slipped out of sight or out of hand. The next message starts on November 18th or November 16th. This is a chart for November 16th. This is when the nodes change. And so there's a little bit of a discrepancy between nodes, the true node versus the north node. The true node actually switches into Cancer on November 8th, while the north node and the south node switch on November 16th. So it's a little bit of a difference, but it really is only a week. So just please adjust to how you prefer. The nodes are going to switch into Cancer and Capricorn from Leo and Sagittarius, Aquarius. I'm going to do a video just like last year to clarify what that means for you. But in the meantime, your focus is going to be on communication, and you're going to be releasing all this pent-up energy associated with your position in academics, long distance travel, anything that's been kind of held up in your ideas that are no longer serving you. You're releasing a lot of those things. Also on November 8th, we have Jupiter moving into Sagittarius. Now for you, that represents the 8th house. The 8th house is the house of sex. It's the house of the occult. It's the house of endings. Jupiter in the 8th house can be a little challenging, but it's okay. You guys can handle it. It can represent a time when some things that need to end really come to the surface, become really big and in your face. So definitely be mindful over the next year. This is a significant transit for you, and we'll definitely talk about that in detail. Next, on November 15th, we have Mars in Pisces. Where's Mars? Mars moving into Pisces, into your social life. I feel as though this is going to be a nice push for you as Chiron is going to finish its transit of Pisces, move into Aries, I believe probably in early 2019. And then Mars will give your social life a little bit of a push, and you can finally get rid of that Chiron energy that's been there for nearly a decade, maybe 7 years. Next, we have Venus direct on November 16th. This is when you'll be able to kind of have a second chance with regard to potential partners around you in business and in love. And definitely with Venus, the emphasis is love here, or maybe very potential lucrative financial partners. But it's a second go. It's a second opportunity with the lessons that you've learned from Venus retrograde moving forward now. Now, the final retrograde period for Mercury happens on November 16th in Sagittarius. This is your 8th house again. This is going to continue until December 6th. And so this is a period in the cycle of change in the 8th house, and also sexuality. This could be problematic between the sheets, as nonverbal communication messages could get misinterpreted, and so you want to be really careful with your partners in how you communicate sexually, because they could misunderstand your cues, or maybe they'll take something to heart and an offense can be taken. So really go easy on each other in terms of your sexual communication. Also, you want to be careful with how you communicate endings, because you could communicate an ending or a resistance to an ending without actually being ready for one. So you just want to be careful between November 16th and December 6th on those things. Finally, Neptune goes direct on November 24th in Pisces. So this is going to either bring in more creativity into your social life and friendships, or create enough hope that you will take chances in relationships. Either way, I think with Mars and Neptune together here, you're going to have this kind of injection into your social life in the mid-autumn or the third quarter. And then finally, we have Chiron direct on the 9th, and this is going to happen in Pisces just for a minute before Chiron moves into your 12th house of spirituality, and will be there for about 6 or 7 years. Transiting through that and healing things that you need to release. Anyway, so I hope this was relatively painless in terms of the astrological overview. I hope you have enough information to see what's going on. We'll definitely do more focused videos on each of these transits, including the nodes, including the eclipses, etc. And I hope you guys check out my other videos, which are linked in the description section or in the about section below. I don't know how you call it, but I hope your July through December is really lovely. I do think that it's kind of social, kind of within your thoughts and ideas, and there's some emphasis on building steady partnerships as well. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and take care. Have a wonderful 2018. Bye. Hey Gemini, thank you for joining me, and welcome to your reading for November. I'm super excited to be here with you guys. So this is your reading from Vimeo. You can get it down below in the VOD pages. And why don't we talk about the people that are going to have an impact in your life, specifically the signs. So I'll just go through the signs briefly and tell you what's up with the signs, and then we are going to do an astrology reading for you guys, and then finally we'll finish up with a tarot reading. How about that? Okay, so hopefully you guys had a nice October. I hope that worked out for you well. I think the energy is really improving and much more in your favor in November, and definitely when Jupiter moves into Sagittarius, relationships start making amend and improving in your favor, okay? So why don't we begin with Aries? I mentioned this in the Vimeo reading, but I want to break it down for you. Your relationships with Aries tend to be quite foggy or quite confusing at times. Maybe sometimes there will be well-wishing towards situations at the cost of looking at them in a rational way. So in some way you might be struggling with trying to get a really clear picture where you stand with Aries people. If you're dealing with a Taurus sun, moon, or rising, I think they're really an access point to a group or community for you this month. This also represents that you may be waiting for more information to come into focus before you make a decision about your relationship with this person. So in some way, it might take some time for you to really know which direction to go with a Taurus. If you're dealing with a Gemini, I feel like maybe, or another Gemini, you personally have a lot of vitality. Let's start there. You have a lot of vitality. There's a lot of upswing in your energy levels. If you've been kind of stuck in low vibes or busy body energy, that's definitely taking an improved approach, and there will be more energy coming into your life. And to add to this, I'll show you guys in a minute, but Mars is right at the top of your chart, which always gives a lot of extra. With other Geminis, I think passionate and honest communication is the key. If you're talking about Cancers, I feel as though Cancer is the problematic sign for you guys, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Just this month, I feel like you should in some way really pay attention, and you might find them to be a bit much, confusing, frustrating, difficult to deal with, difficult to take on, all that energy right there. Okay, so next we're going to talk about Leos. I think that with Leos, it's all about pacing. Either you or the Leo with Sun, Moon, or Rising in some way has a lot to consider, a lot of things to think about, and so possibly you may be really kind of looking towards long-term solutions, and in the short term you may find that either you or they are not so fully available, something like that. Virgo, soulmate relationships with Virgos, positive relationships, compassionate relationships, somebody who could be coming into your life who is making a connection for you, possibly connecting with you with a Scorpio as well, going your own way, going in your own direction, and having a fulfilling time with Virgos. Okay, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, so next, let me just get, okay, so with Libras, so this is the showstopper of the month, Mr. Knight of Pentacles. There's two. There's Mr. Knight of Pentacles, and we'll get to King of Cups in just a moment. But this guy is something to watch out for, a new friend that's showing up for you, or maybe a new connection who is actually helping you a lot. They're coming on with fresh energy. They're youthful, and they have a lot of positivity to extend to you, help you with something that's hard to overcome, help you to deal with a situation that might be difficult. Mr. Knight of Pentacles is somehow linked to Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You may have met them actually during Libra season or something like that, but even especially in your moments when you're ready to kind of throw it all out the window, tear out your hair, all that stuff, I feel as though there is this energy that's greatly improving and settling down, and they're helping to give to you another option, another way to look at it, and that frees up your energy. Okay, so Scorpio is here, and so I feel like there will be an opportunity to travel, an opportunity to go in different directions. Maybe a Scorpio is coming to visit from far away, or maybe you are traveling a long distance to see a Scorpio, but there's this kind of element of adventure, also completion. Maybe in some way this has been a long journey already for the two of you, and maybe this is just beginning. The world is the beginning and the end, right? It's that point of exploration or conclusion of a journey. This is Mr. King of Cups, and he's a Sagittarius, the Sun, Moon, or Rising. And so he could be a water sign Sag, connection to both Sag and to water sign energy. So both energies resonate. King of Cups, amazing person. He's actually the person who's going to, this person, this Knight of Pentacles that's somehow connected to Libra, is in some way going to help you feel better at moments when you feel like you failed, at moments when you feel like things really broke down for you this month. And Mr. King of Cups is going to come in and really have your back in some situations, really kind of lift the situation to a higher quality experience, to illuminate, to give you a shoulder to cry on, to hold your hand, and possibly some romance right there. A real camaraderie comes from this energy. Now, if you are into women, then this is very likely a woman for you. So it goes along with your preferences. Don't get stuck on that. And then we have Capricorn, and this is the energy, and I am not saying it's Capricorns for you, Gemini, but very possibly. I feel like this is the snarky miser. If you guys have watched my other video on the snarky miser, you can Google it and find it. And so I feel as though this is your snarky miser, and this is a person who in some way will always shortchange you for their own benefit. They have quite a bit of power, which makes them difficult to deal with. They're older, possibly older, but they're definitely a bit of a tyrant at this point. And so I explain more in the video, but just be aware, okay? And so Aquarian woman, possibly, again, could be a man. Aquarian, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, but most likely an Aquarius, in some way giving you fresh ways of looking at the circumstances. The circumstances in your life in November are going to be such that you are going to be dealing with a lot of other people's things, possibly other people in your family, and those events and circumstances will in some way really bog you down. You'll feel weighed down, and so this Queen of Swords comes in to give you a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of autonomy, so you'll feel kind of like you can get through this month, okay? So, and then Pisces, last but not least, okay? So Pisces is connected with a new beginning. Either you hear from a Pisces, or a Pisces gives you some idea towards a new route, towards a new path, or possibly a new relationship with a Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. This could be a friendship or romance. Whatever it is, it's good. So that's the overall energy. If you're kind of freaking out and don't want to get the Vimeo, remember on the bottom we have the 6 of Wands. You're going to be victorious this month. It's going to be fine. There's just those people. There's a lot of people actually that are kind of in your life, in and out this month. So be kind of cognizant or aware of that. Okay, so now we're going to do astrology. Hey girl, hey. I have my astrology chart, and I'm so stoked to have it the way that I like it. So this is the chart for November 1st, and it's going to be automated, so you'll see it kind of going through on its own path, and we'll kind of show you or I'll point out to you some of the transits. You just saw Venus pop into your 5th house, going retrograde into Libra. That's going to happen right on the 1st of November. She moves into that area, actually on the 31st of December, if you want to get technical. Okay, so the moon starts off in Leo. We see it moving right into Virgo now. That's November 2nd. The first transit to be aware of is that Uranus is going to move back into Aries. Now that's about to happen here, and that's your 11th house of friendship. We're going to experience this right until January, when Uranus moves direct. I think on the 6th of January, Uranus moves direct in Aries and starts heading back to Taurus. But, a last chance to kind of pull out the weirdest, coolest friends that you've ever had and make connections with them. I do want to pull a couple cards just for insight on some of the transits. Okay, so I think that maybe your mind is stopping you from really welcoming in this energy, this Uranus in the 11th house. So you may be holding yourself back from fully being available, or in the past maybe there had been a lot of kind of trying to figure out whether or not somebody was a good fit or not. I think that what you run the risk of at this time is this Nine of Swords, which means that you may feel like there's a potential of a good friendship, but then there's all these things in the mind that have created blockages. So be cognizant of that. Remember, with something like this, I would say give it time, and maybe when Uranus moves direct, it'll be a better time. Don't count out this person yet, or these people yet. The Ace of Cups is a very powerful thing. It's all what you do with it that matters. If you're still dealing with kind of heartbreak from other situations, then maybe, you know, it's a sign that you should take it easy. So the moon is now in Libra for the 5th of November, and there's going to be a new moon in Scorpio, actually, right here in your chart on the 7th of November. So that's in your 6th house. We'll do a dedicated video, but let's just see. 6th house is health and fitness. So there's Scorpio right there, the Death card, and the Page of Wands, and the 7 of Pentacles. So I feel as though pursuing a new course of action, a spirited new beginning, new type of work, new type of practice. There goes that new moon right now. So I feel as though you drop something in order to begin something new. It's always good to have a fresh start, and this new moon is going to be a good energy for that. And then on the 8th, you'll see this in just a moment on the chart, but you have Jupiter moving into the 7th house of partnership. And so this is going to begin for you consolidation for all the energy that you've been going through with this 8th house transit. That probably left things for you kind of in tatters in terms of relationships. Both the 7th and the 8th house for you had very hard transits, specifically Saturn. Not very romantic when Grandpa Saturn's around. So Jupiter's going to come in now and bring a lot of opportunity into your life. I'll do a dedicated video on that as well, but let's see your 3 cards. So we have, again, here, let me pull from the middle. Okay, so this can feel like a passionate new beginning, a Sag, Leo, or Aries. Let's see it here. And we have Mercury here as well. So important to say something and just let it be. Just let things be and be calm. I feel as though there will be a massive reset for you. That's shown up already twice now. So some type of reset, some type of new beginning. I'll do a dedicated video for Jupiter and Sag. Next, we have Mars and Pisces. I mentioned this. This happens on the 15th of November, and you have Mars transiting here between Aquarius and Pisces. That's the MC line, top of your chart. This is going to give you, it's like a shot of espresso, a shot of triple espresso for Gemini this month. Lots of vitality, lots of excitement, forward momentum. Let's pick some cards on that. We have the 5 of Cups, the King of Cups, and we have the 3 of Wands. So Scorpio again, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Disappointment in the past. Somebody brings something new for you in the present towards the future. There's going to be a good reward for the efforts that you have put out into the universe up until now. Next, we have Venus moving direct on the 16th, and at the same time, Mercury's going to go retrograde in Sagittarius. So this is Mercury about to go retrograde on the 16th of November. You guys won't see this because I'm ahead of the chart now, but you will see that in just a moment. And Venus is about to move direct right at the beginning, at the end of Libra, and heading back into Scorpio. So that's the 16th. It's going to be, one's going to go direct, one's going to go retrograde. I don't know, maybe I'll do a dedicated reading on that. But the most important thing on the, I think I should just do a massive dedicated mid-month reading, because on the 16th also we have the North Node moving into Cancer. And to me, the North Node moving into Cancer, South Node switching into your 8th house of Capricorn. This is endings. This is going to be a big purge, 14-month purge for you, and a big focus on forward moving motion with regard to your work, your money, your career, all that stuff. Venus going direct is going to put forward motion in terms of your love life. Hopefully you checked out my Venus retrograde video. It's in your Gemini playlist. But Venus moving direct here in the 5th house, that's hopefully got you aligned well for in terms of your partnerships and love life, and hopefully you're heading off in a good direction. Mercury going retrograde in the 7th house. Be careful with talking with partners, both business and romance. So let's just pick 3 cards, one for the North Node, South Node, one for Venus, one for Mercury, okay? We'll break it down in more detail later. So this is North Node, South Node. So you have somebody who, water sign. The water sign's bringing in money, and there it goes. Did you see that? So we have here the North Node just went into Cancer, and Mercury just went station, and Venus is station as well. Station is the period between direct and retrograde motion. The next card I'll pick is for Venus, and we have the 4 of Wands. Wonderful energy, stabilizing family situations. This is your romance house, so maybe this is when things start, but I would say keep kind of a lid on it, because Mercury retrograde is going to have you fumbling over your words. And then we have the Knight of Swords, and in this deck it is Scorpio, Sun in Scorpio, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, people coming together to form home. Is this what's going on? Or I said this is your North Node, and so the North Node being in Cancer, insurgence of financial wealth into your life. This is Venus in the 5th house, very stable for love, relationships, stability, congruency, just being together, things being nice. This energy is wonderful for love. This is the family card. It's also the marriage card, so if you're curious. And then the Knight of Swords, we have somebody coming in really quick. Mercury, you know, something needs to be said from the past. That's what I'm getting from this. Something needs to be said from the past, and it's going to be said right now. So now the moon is over on the other side of the zodiac and about to form the full moon that happens on the 23rd in Gemini. It'll be actually here. But before that, the sun has to move into your 7th house. So the sun moves into the 7th house, starting off Sagittarius season. Hey girl, hey. And that's going to bring in a lot of opportunity into your life in the way of love and in the way of partnerships. So those partnerships are coming together. Keep in mind, Mercury's still retrograde. It's only 3-week period, so first week in December it goes direct. Not a big deal. Just make sure that you're not trying to iron out details with partners. But you look, sun in Sagittarius, you have the 10 of Cups, happy family, happy connections. The 4 of Pentacles, which is stability, maybe kind of aware that there are good things ahead of you financially, so you're not giving over everything right away. But it says acquisition de bien, which means good, acquiring good things. That's how I read it. Anyway, so I think that this is careful money management card for me. And your 3rd card is, there he comes again, Mr. Scorpio. Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, Gemini. So, or an offer that is being made. If you're not dealing with a water sign, someone's coming in to make a romantic offer. You know astrology now, so don't speak too much, because you're ruled by Mercury. You do want to speak. You know, you want to converse, iron out the details, find out what they really are on about. However, I think that you should practice restraint for yourself and also encourage your partner to be conservative until the first week of December, just so you don't get yourself into some kind of, you know, I don't know, unnecessary conversation. On the 23rd of November, full moon in Gemini. The timing of this is just great this month. So we have the full moon in Gemini happening, just happened in your 1st house. So this is going to be a powerful kind of consolidation of energy to do with everything that you want to be. You get to shine. You get to prove to others who you want to be like. There is a little bit of a T-square on Neptune and Mars in your 10th house of career. What I would say is that don't look outside. Have that self-satisfaction from the inside about who you are, okay? So here are your cards. We have the two. This is for the full moon we just missed. And we have the Two of Swords. We have the Magus. And then we have the Two of Cups. Love. Love is all around you. To me, this is called amitié, which is friendship. Two of Swords. So I like the interpretation on these cards. I feel as though, yeah, friendship, 2-2, soulmate connection. That full moon is on the 23rd of November, so maybe this is when the twins meet. This is when maybe that connection is reinforced, or maybe somebody is bringing you towards someone that you need to be with, or maybe you're the person who's putting all that effort behind that energy. And finally, we have Neptune direct on the 24th. We missed that on the chart, but that happened at the top of your chart. Neptune is experiencing kind of some harsh angles this November, so I would say just take it easy, you know, allow that energy to not get the best of you, your career, your public life. Mars with Neptune, you want to feel like you want to push into certain things, have huge ambitions. You want to check yourself before you break yourself, right? So here is some message for you. We have the Hierophant, the teacher, maybe something to do with school or public meetings. And then we have the Nine of Rods. The Nine of Rods is like kind of go back to the drawing board, really prepare yourself behind the scenes. And then you have the Sun assuring you success. So just mind the energy, go slow. As you see, also Chiron is now in Pisces and has been there for a while in its retrograde motion. Finally, the last transit of Chiron in Pisces for like 50 years, and thank goodness it's not an easy one. I think it's probably the hardest one in my opinion, or at least for me it is. So I'm happy to see it go. For you, in terms of your career, the last embers of problems to do with career stuff will show up for you right there. But you're moving past it. You have the Sun, right? So that you're really moving past it. You're moving on. Okay? So hopefully that was fast. Hopefully that worked good. I already promised you guys the intro, the full reading. Although if I had my way, you're the first one who I'm reading for. If I had my way, I'd separate the video, but we're here, so let's do it. So I have the Blanco Nero cards, which I love. And we'll do a little Celtic cross, just to let you guys know what energies we have that we're dealing with, and everybody feels like they've been taken care of. Make sure to comment and like if you're watching this part of the video, and let me know how you guys like my automated astrology chart. Pretty fun stuff, hey? So your first message is, here, I'll show you guys. It's right in front of you, so there's no misunderstandings. Your first energy is the Hanged Man. Yeah, you're waiting on someone else. This came up a lot in the Vimeo reading. Waiting on someone else within your family, waiting on someone else around you. You have to be really patient and allow things around you to form in the way they are. The Death card. Death is all around you. Now, this could be true because of your transit. If you're new to the channel, if you've watched this again, sorry to reiterate, but if you're new to the channel, the reason there's so much death around you, and death doesn't mean literal death or physical death, it means change and transformation. So as I said, you have the South Node moving into Capricorn. We'll do dedicated videos for that like every year. And then we have Pluto in the 8th house and Saturn in the 8th house. Pluto's the natural ruler of the 8th house, and Saturn is all about death, change, transformation. So it's the ancient Kronos, right? The god of time. And so in the 8th house, you have some pretty powerful transits. The South Node, if you don't know, is karmic. So you're really dealing with like some deep alchemy of time, change, and transformation. So this will come up in your readings a lot, and you shouldn't be worried about it. It's not necessarily a bad thing. So even though things feel as though they're not changing, fundamentally they are changing and transforming. So it's kind of two things in one. Hanged Man keeps you in place, and the Death card makes things change. So on the surface, it seems as though things are persisting, specifically because other people have stuff to figure out, stuff that you're waiting on them to figure out before you can move forward. But that change is already beginning, or maybe you're dealing with a Scorpio, as we saw here. Here is your next message. We have the Seven of Pentacles up top. So the Seven of Pentacles is just telling us that there is something that you are looking towards. I feel as though there's been a lot of energy put behind trying to create or begin something in your life, begin a new path, begin some kind of new direction. I feel like you are in some way very much making plans for the future, for yourself, not anybody else, for yourself. And the North Node in the second house here, this is your own money. This isn't money for other people. This is your own money in your own pocket. So you are very much making plans for that. Below the surface, we have the Temperance card. So this is Mr. King of Cups. So behind the surface, or underneath the surface, behind the scenes, there could be a Sagittarius or a King of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, who's helping you to mediate, to deal with, to make peace with the energies that you are working with. In the Vimeo reading, I'll just tell you guys a little bit. There was this kind of energy of somebody around you, both masculine and feminine, are going through some pretty intense things, and so I think that that is affecting your life. And although I think you're doing okay, you're going to be impacted by other people's things that they're working through, you know, because you can't get certain things done because you have to wait on them with certain things, all that. Here is the Nine of Cups. In the past, you got your wish fulfilled. You got something that you really wanted. This is Jupiter in Pisces. I feel as though you got what you wanted, and now you're waiting. You're waiting to move forward towards something, and possibly trying to save money or resources to get more out of the situation. Here is the oncoming energy. We have the Hierophant, and so with the Hierophant, this came up prominently as well, I believe, in your reading on Vimeo and here. That's Taurus, right? And Uranus is leaving Taurus, which is your 12th house, for a few months. This can also mean marriage. This has been coming up for you a lot. This is a marriage card. This is a marriage card. So maybe this is the new beginning, or maybe a new community. Oh yeah, we saw Hierophant come up in your 10th house, didn't we? So like responsibilities in a community, leadership positions within a community, all those things are kind of first and foremost in your public life, or the next things that you will deal with. You in the situation have the Chariot, so this is the card of Cancer. Not much going on. Oh yeah, North Node in Cancer, right? So this is you getting that bag, getting that money. You know, at the end of the day, you're going to get paid. At the end of the day, you are going to feel like you have put effort and work into every area of life. And I will do a dedicated video, but when that North Node moves into the second house, whatever house it moves into, it's like there is this emphasis on that area of your life for 14 months. And for you, what it's going to emphasize is money, success. So whatever things you have to do or bear to get through it, you do it, and you kind of do it like a champ. You do it like a champion. Okay, so here is your next card. Whoa, you've got a lot of trumps. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, number 5. This is Aquarius all around you. I told you, Queen of Swords. Somebody helping you to make sense of things, put things in order, make things right. Maybe a soulmate energy, maybe a really natural connection. Hopes and fears, we have the Knight of Pentacles, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. You're hoping for that person to come in, and in the Vimeo reading I told you, remember that Libra card? Look back to the beginning. That's the same card as here. And the outcome for the month, ready? We have King of Pentacles. Hey girl, hey. Oh yeah, he was shady. So don't give him too much power. He could be a Taurus. If he's a Taurus, then he's okay. Sun, Moon, or Rising, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. This could be marriage. This could be really settling down with that right person, making that connection. Change and transformation happens. So I feel as though, like, slowly and surely you are making a gentle connection with someone. Surely you are kind of, there could be some kind of communication that mildly happens first, and then it gets deeper and more intense and more intense, and then the I love yous come, and success and autonomy, and it's not necessarily codependent, and it's freedom and all the good things in life. On the bottom you have the Three of Cups. So to me that suggests that this is a time of joy, of rejoicing and celebrating. So I think that you're heading in the right direction. The only caveat is that someone in your life is, you are celebrating while people who are close to you may not be celebrating, not because they're not happy for you, but because they have their own stuff going on. So I feel like it's very important for you to, in some way, be respectful and very conscientious, because I think this energy is going to swoop you up. It's going to really take you in a good direction. Who is this King of Pentacles, girl? Now, if you like girls, then this could be a woman. I often come up as this card. So, you know, Jupiter in Virgo, hey girl, hey. So yeah, we have King of Pentacles. Somebody's coming in. This could be like a fulfillment of a fair and due position. I told you guys in the Vimeo reading, and I'll just mention it here, this King of Pentacles energy in the Vimeo reading didn't come up as like the nicest energy. That doesn't mean it's the same person. I think that you have several earth signs in your life this month. This King of Pentacles was a tyrant and someone you had to abide, whose rules you had to abide by because of the position they took, like a tyrannical boss or something like that. But it's not here. This isn't the same energy. This to me seems like really finding love and marriage, settling down and forming a connection. It's a solid connection and you're in love and all those things. More significant than just romance. Something poignant. And maybe that Venus retrograde did a good reset on your life. Okay, Gemini, I hope you guys celebrate. I hope you have a nice time. Be patient. All of this is coming through for you. Maybe towards the end, maybe around the 23rd of November with that full moon in Gemini. Maybe that's when the soulmates really finally connect. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye. And welcome to your reading for the April 4th and your review of the Magical Forest, Tarot of the Magical Forest. So if you're new to this series, this is my 78 card reading in which I will read the entire deck for you guys. And you guys usually vote for this on Instagram between 1 or 2 decks. This time you guys chose between 3 and you chose this one. It's another one of my cute decks. As you guys know, I love my cute illustration decks. So what we're gonna do is do a 78 card reading. Now if you're watching this after April 4th, then this is a reading for you as well. It's meant to go through the entire deck and show you guys all the cards, while at the same time providing one of my 78 card readings that I developed a long time ago, probably at the beginning of the channel, but I always kind of read like this. It was just a reading that I would do for people, especially in private readings. So I'm excited to bring it to you guys, and it works really well with the deck review because this way we get to see all the cards. And again, whenever you're watching this in 5-10 years from now, you can also get a free reading while looking at the cards. Now here is a little bit of an idea, and you guys let me know, whoever's in chat. What if I just take out the cards and read them as they are in the deck? I don't know which order they're in, but maybe it's like a message through time that is helping us, you know, or is for us to discover. I've used this deck before and it's in an order, but I think it's kind of a cool idea to just pull it out and see what it's going to say. So unless you guys object, that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, Pretty neat, hey? So here is the cover, so you guys can see that. There's a little guy. And on the bottom we have the manufacturing or the publishing information, which is Low Scarborough. It's another one of those Low Scarborough decks. I think Low Scarborough and AGM Mueller are some of my favorite publishers. I really like US Game Systems as well, of course. But yeah, so that's the back. We have a fox. And I think that the different suits are divided between the different animals, right? So anyway, so again, this is for the 4th, in replacement for the 4th. But whenever you guys watch this, then that's the reading for you. And you can, if you're done with this reading and want another reading, go and check out another one of my reviews, right? This came in as an insert, the Law of Attraction Tarot. Do you guys want me to review that? Let me know in the comments, and we can do another 78 card reading with that one. Let's see if I have any of these decks. I actually don't have any one of these decks, surprisingly. So this is the let me know if you want me to read with any of these decks. This is the Secret Forest. That one looks cool. Some decks I don't get, especially if they have tiny details like these fairies, because, well, the camera doesn't show it that well. And then with the white cats, I've thought of getting this one. I do have another cats tarot. I'm not that hot on cats tarot. I know you guys, some of you guys really like it though. And then Tarot of this Sweet Twilight. I've been really drawn to this deck before. Let me know if you want me to get any of them and review them. Okay, so let's see what else we get in this pack. And as agreed, on the bottom we have the Chariot, so that's pretty good message. And then we get this little insert too, which is come standard. This is the back of the cards. Pretty okay. And then you get a standard booklet. They include it in every single publication. It's in 4 or 5 languages and describes all the cards. Fun fact is that every single description is unique. So for every single card that you get, there's a unique description, which is dope. This deck was originally published in 2008. Here's the contact information for Low Scarborough. And let's see. So just like a legal notice, and art tarot is Pietro Aligo, and marketing is Mario Pignatiello. Sorry for butchering the name. So this was written by Leo Tang and is illustrations by Giovanni Pelsolini. Okay, cool. So beautiful deck. Tarot of the Magical Forest. I love forests. I'm scared of the animals though. So we've made a decision. We're going to just take the cards as is. If you're completely opposed to this and want me to do a part 2 where I shuffle the cards, let me know in the comments once the video is posted. And if anybody wants to time cap for the beginning of the reading, just make it, 5 or 6 minutes. Okay, so let's begin. So on the bottom we had the Chariot. This represents the sign of Cancer, and this represents the act of overcoming, moving past situations, improving our circumstances or whatever we've come across. The first card is, ooh girl, there we go, 2 of Cups. So right off the bat we've got love is the answer, and I feel as though love is coming into your heart, and this is the main theme of what we are going to get at this time. And then we have the message. Some of you guys may be dealing with a Taurus, but this is the card of the Hierophant, the teacher, and community. So this could also represent marriage. Some of you guys are in a situation that's leading to marriage or involves marriage already in some way, or some kind of institution. Here we have the 5 of Pentacles. Now, I feel as though this marriage, and I'll just get into the reading, and if you guys want to comment on the side, just say whatever you like. Okay, so I feel like maybe for some of you this marriage has to do with money. It's motivated by money more than desire. Or maybe the blockage to the marriage is a lack of money, but there seems to be a barrier to happiness because of financial concerns or situations. And this could involve a child, particularly if you have Gemini, Aquarian, or Libra children. They in some way are, kind of cutting in to circumstances and disrupting the flow of situations. There might be a need for you to go in a different direction as well. Take a different look at the situation. You might be this Knight of Swords as well. In some way you're supposed to love and feel that love connection with your partner. But I think that you're thinking about this love situation and just kind of in some way feeling uncomfortable. Yeah, this reminds me of the Puss in Boots, right? This is the Puss in Boots, that story. It's a kitty cat. This kind of cat I like, just the random cat. And then we have the Devil. So this represents the sign of Capricorn, right? And so here we have the Devil. And so I feel like there's a great fear that's coming over you. Maybe this is just cold feet about where this is going to go. Worried that, your mind starts working. You start worrying about where the situation is going. Is it going to produce for you some kind of outcome that you want? You're definitely afraid of something, or someone is really afraid of the world or the way that the circumstances are. And that's leading you to kind of escalate your thoughts into a bit of a broken heart. So you're having this catastrophic kind of dialogue with yourself, or somebody is in this relationship and they keep going to a dark place. If it's not you, then it's your partner. If you don't have a partner, then most likely it's you, or it's some situation in the past that you had gone through in which this was the issue. There was like a closening of a relationship, but financially it was like coming apart. I really like this card too. So I really like this deck, just as a clarifier, a little my bias disclosure. It's one I really like, this kind of artwork in general. Children's art I really like, or art for kids books and stuff, whatnot. So anyway, so I was friends with a children's book illustrator who actually worked with Andy Warhol. I was friends with him for a long time. He was also a philosopher, a very interesting person. But yeah, I have a passion for these kinds of illustrations. This is one of the better ones I've seen. Okay, so back to the reading. So yeah, there's love, but there's also something really tentative that you're feeling, one person is feeling. And I feel like fear is getting the better of the situation, right? And I feel like this may have been the legacy of a relationship with a father. This represents a father. This can also represent, someone who you really wanted to marry, or someone, a legacy of heartache and heartbreak that has been a part of this situation, and now is creating for you a barrier in which you don't necessarily feel comfortable in more serious relationships. But I feel like maybe there's someone who's going to come in, or the situation is going to evolve in which love becomes possible, at least in your heart, but more externally, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio who could come in and make your life welcome and full of love. This is the King of Cups, and the King of Cups traditionally or typically represents a man who's ready for marriage, emotionally available and healthy. It can represent the Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, but it actually can also mean a father who has passed away in the past. It's not predicting the death of someone. I don't predict that kind of thing. But this sounds like almost idealized man. And I'm wondering if this is someone who's coming in or has left. But I feel like it's maybe twofold. There was an expectation in the past that caused a heartbreak, for one person or another. There was someone who was too perfect in your mind, or you set up your expectations too high. But I feel like maybe there's also someone coming in who's here to do some healing with you and bring the quality of home back into your life, where you can have a healthy marriage, a healthy community around you. And I think that with that will come some rest, where you're really in some way, able to rest and unpack the intensity of your experiences, and really in some way put health in your mind with regard to where you are going or what you want. So, sometimes rest allows us to think more clearly. So this is a cat nap. Exactly. You guys are so cute. I love when you guys contribute to the reading when it's on point. It's so great. And it takes a really long time because of the way that this is a online thing. It's very hard to get everybody doing the same thing, right? But it's for those of you guys who come on a regular basis, if you guys can help me actively participate by commenting specifically on the reading, and that kind of discourages off-topic conversation, and really it'll be really cool if we all do that in some way, right? That's the only thing is I can do to ask, but because it's open, anybody can come in and give feedback, and that becomes a difficult kind of thing to manage. But it would be awesome if we could do that on a regular basis. I'm all for having a two-way conversation. And now the comments are being published, so now we can actually have a conversation with people later being able to read what we're talking about. So this is the 9 of Pentacles, and so we have a fox, not a wolf, a little fox. And she's very happy with what she has. I think there's a little bird here. It's maybe a little bit too dark. Let me tell you what it is. It looks like a little bird that's sitting on her hand, and she's surrounded by all her pentacles, and beyond her is the possibility and kind of a horizon of some greater possibility. It's lit bright, so it reminds us that sometimes we sit too comfortably in our safety. But I think that this actually comes to the idea that you're going to move back into your home, or energetically, not physically move. Yeah, the horizon is wonderful, Amy. Yeah, Amy's a wonderful photographer, and she uses depth of field very well in her photography. So that's what she's mentioning here, that the depth of field is really, really well drawn. But we have this kind of turning away to a more safe place. So that's how it would represent the 9 of Pentacles here. So I think that there is this real kind of coming to a comfortable place after feeling a certain degree of anxiety or worry. Okay. So next we have the Empress, right? So kind of coming into fruition, coming into yourself, feeling comfortable. There's the wheat at her feet, at the bottom of her chaise, and then there is a Venus sign representing, and the sky is also really beautiful. Yeah, these are wonderfully drawn. So the Empress, so it's kind of allowing us to breathe and sit into a place that we find comfortable, that's non-threatening, in which we can think. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, and so I think that once you relax and sit with yourself, you're going to feel more comfortable, and you're going to feel like there is predisposed to being able to to respond to positive influence in our life that is taking us in a good direction. And it's kind of like celebratory, an ease, a comfort, an ability to kind of relax and go naturally in wherever the wind takes us without too much editing, without too much censorship as to what's right. So following your heart and being very, very innocent about what we want, and then falling very, very easily into a decision that's natural about which way we're meant to go. So it's ease of decision, ease of easing into a decision, not jamming our heads. I've been using the metaphor of a square peg in a round hole, that kind of thing. And so there's this kind of easing into situations rather than forcing issues. And ultimately waiting. This is how gorgeous is this card? Yeah, these are barely illustrations. These are more like paintings, aren't they? Yeah, if you guys will see, my decks I tend to favor fine art decks, and I think this one, I know it's illustrative, but it's almost like painting quality to them. I think that they're like fantastic. Again, depth of field, amazing. So the three of wands, I feel like, you make your decision, you ease into something, and also you're waiting for something to come back, and there's something coming for you on the horizon, something you've been waiting for, someone you've been waiting for a very long time. And that would be a Knight of Pentacles, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. And I feel like this person is integral to growing you in the direction you need to go. This is kind of like your backbones coming in. And he's coming in with a gift. You can see he doesn't have to be a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. But I think that he's bringing you a gift. He's bringing you stability. And I think that he's bringing you a lot of grounded energy. And I feel like you're feeling tenuous towards him. You're not quite sure. You like your home. That's your Nine of Pentacles back there, and you're defending it against the possibility of threat, but you don't really see where the threat is coming from. So you're continually paranoid, I think, on some level. People who have a lot in life, they struggle with paranoia a lot, especially people who have like new rich, people who have acquired their wealth in their lifetime. They tend to have real psychological issues with who's going to take it from me, that paranoid thinking. And so I feel like this isn't necessarily in that sense, but it parallels that in the sense that it might be figments of your imagination, and you might want to question that there's no actual threat at all, that you're just nervous because you've gotten yourself this little castle, you're comfortable, and now somebody is knocking on your door. Here is, this is getting deep. This is the Emperor, so somebody was asking before. And so I said knocking on the door, so somebody is coming in. But this is also your home and your position of safety or comfort, that we're talking about. The next card is the Death card. So change and transformation. The Emperor represents your Aries, or this is going to be Scorpio. So this can actually be a change around what is stable for you at this time. Something that you actually thought was very, very stable, changes and transforms. I think it's a little bit freaky that they drew the pig dead here in this card, in the Death card, and the Emperor is the pig here. As you can see, all the cards have different animals, so it's pretty intimidating, the fact that the Emperor has ceased to exist, right? And there's like an owl queen behind him. Seems pretty scary to me. Yeah, but it can actually mean that something's changing. But it can actually mean that these people are coming into your life, both Scorpio or Aries, or maybe the nature of your stability is changing. So it's time to evolve and progress towards greater horizons. And so there's love that's coming into your life, 8 of Rods. So this is the same castle. Nothing's changing. I think that maybe this is the fear. Maybe this is the fear. These are the wands. Remember, we were just talking about that. The wands. This is a very nice deck to read. The illustrations are very, very suggestive. So for intuitive reading, right? So you have the wands coming at you. I think this is a fear. I think that you're afraid that your stability, that's exactly what I was talking about. Fear that your stability is going to end and you're defending it, and there's your castle. So I think that's the paranoia that I was mentioning before, right? Sometimes I pick up on the message before the cards come down. But I think that you're going to have positive reinforcement. I don't think anybody's dying. I think that we're just getting a little scared here of what we might lose. And you're afraid that either your father's going to die, the relationship's going to end, or that your stability in your home is, tenuous, and that it will come to a close. I think this is the fear in your mind as you're defending yourself against the unknown. And I said earlier, if you guys want to skip back in the video, is there anyone even there? So the question is, I don't think there's anyone there at this time. I don't think that this is a justifiable worry. This is more kind of, you have something, it's working really hard for something such as security, wealth, home, can feel really scary once you possess it because you don't want to lose it again, right? So a lot of people struggle with these kinds of feelings, and I think that's what's going on here. And we have the 8 of Wands, which is the world giving you some kinds of supportive signals, reinforcement, kindness, and I think that will come in the form of a friend. This is the real deal. Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. I love the Page of Cups. Like, I love the Page of Cups. Like, all my pets in the future, I want them to be little pages of cups. If I have kids, I want them to be little Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. I love that fish jumping out of the cup in it's so innocent. And rabbits are so innocent, of course, with Easter just passed. But someone once said to me something about rabbits. Do you guys want to hear it? But it's kind of a spoiler for the whole rabbit affection thing. For me, I'm still working through the energy. Let me know if you want me to share what I heard about rabbits, about like another archetype with rabbits that I didn't really like. But you guys want to hear it? It has to be more than one person asking. But yeah, so I feel like there will be kindness and supportive energy coming to you from a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, and a new friend. And I think that a lot will get grounded in work. Okay, you guys got 2 yeses. Okay, fine. I'll ruin it for everyone. Spoiler. Jump ahead 1 minute if you guys don't want to hear this. So, or like, if somebody could timestamp how long it takes me to explain it, and then leave it in the comments below once we're done, then that would be very helpful. So someone once told me that rabbits represent death because they essentially do 2 things. They eat, they sleep, they poop, and they have sex, and they procreate. So a rabbit's life cycle is like at the extreme point of reproduction. So if you put 2 rabbits together, before you know it, there is like 100 rabbits, right? So rabbits represent death. And I thought that was a very horrible way to look at it, but it's just, this person hated rabbits. They were like, it's like the grossest animal ever because all they do is procreate and die. That's all, it's like a maddening. Anyway, so if anybody's interested, time cap 2640 in the comments once we publish the video, or 27 minutes once we publish, so that Anyone who doesn't want to have rabbits ruined can jump to that spot. Okay, so then we have the Eight of Pentacles, hard work and diligence. So I think the emotional aspect of things settles down. You settle into the things you need to create. You have help and support from a Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. This is a new friend who helps you. Maybe a friend at work. Yeah. Yeah. And then we have then I got you guys in an uproar, sorry. I know it was one of those things that I've heard, the Hermit. Okay, so I think that a Virgo might come into your life, or maybe there will be some need for some self-reflection, pause. Maybe the work will be a release of the emotional stuff and thinking about where you are in things in general, where your life is going. Very cute little polar bear. Fun fact, there's two kinds of white bears. There are polar bears and there are brown bears who are albino, and they're called spirit bears. If you guys remember, I have a tapestry that I used to feature on my videos of the spirit bear. Maybe I'll put it up on Instagram for you guys to check out. But yeah, so this is a polar bear, I think. Personal journey, insight into where you are meant to go. The emotion is kind of out of it at this point. You feel a little secure. Your work is going well. You have a new friend. And now it's time to kind of think about what you're doing. Here is the next message. Four of Pentacles. The Virgo might be holding out on you a little bit, sitting on their coins, or maybe you're sitting on yours, right? But there's this kind of refusal to move forward. There's a certain feeling in this reading to do with kind of like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to, there's like putting the brake on things, putting, things, making things stop, slow down, There's this kind of feeling like the person who's watching this or person around them, it really doesn't want. Several times there's been this feeling like, oh, let's not progress because it's so intimidating to move forward with things. And I feel like maybe that has to do with a heavy workload, having too many things to consider. Sorry, this one's a little bit dark. But yeah, so we have this kind of a feeling that you need to go really, really slow, or else everything will fall apart. So did you see that the wand energy is sort of mounting? It went up, up, up. So I feel like in a certain way it got more and more intense. There's so much pressure and you're like, don't touch me. I don't want anything added to my plate. Yeah. And then we have, oops, I jumped ahead, sorry. Spoiler alert, I'm just kidding. Okay, we'll get to that in just a minute. But then we have the Queen of Wands, who is a Sag, Leo, or Aries. Look at her with her little sunflower and cat. These are really, really pretty. So, yeah, so I feel like there's someone around you who kind of, at that time, you will be only able to resonate with this fire energy. The nice thing about the fire court cards is they don't add a lot of weight to a situation. So it's like if you're overburdened, this person's not going to lay down a whole bunch of intense crap on your hands. And so I think that you'll become closer with this person. They'll be refreshing to you because you won't have a lot of room to think about deep things. And then we have the Knight of Wands. So that was the spoiler. Somebody's going to come in really fast or leave really fast. What a cute card, eh? Can you guys see it? So yeah, he's really cute. He's coming in super fast. A Sag, Leo, or Aries. So somebody's coming or going very quickly. They light up your life, but they also leave behind a trail of wonderful things. This could be a sibling. This could be someone who you don't see too much. Yeah, a frog riding a frog. Yeah. And then we have the Six of Cups. So it's really priming you for a good experience, some love, Sun and Scorpio for this card, but not necessarily. This is the soulmate card or reflection of love. So your heart is going to be motivated to be more caring or feel more nurturing. And I think that maybe you'll receive some kind of letter or message from someone who is in a certain way, feeling the need to communicate with you, probably to do with love. They miss you, or they'll come in very quickly like this, like boom, there you go. Here's a message. I've been thinking about you. Hey cutie, what's up? Shake that booty. How's it going? That kind of thing. Hey girl, hey, but it's not like a girlfriend or like a platonic friend. This is like a little bit romantic. And then we have, I think it's going to be time for you to kind of dig in to some of the things you've been storing or saving for a while. And I think that maybe in some way you are going to have to, in some way you are going to be looking at all those prime pentacles that you've been storing, and it's going to be time to dip in. It's time for your reaping. And so I think that maybe this will help you begin a new emotion, new relationship, feelings towards someone. This feels peculiar here. What's going on here? Maybe this will lead you to make a change and see a different course of action that you're wanting to take. And so you're going to make whatever it is happen. So, that letter might be your wake-up call that you want to move forward, right? That you want to move forward towards. And I feel like you won't really know exactly what to do. Maybe there's some history with these people where you're in some way, when you're already some way, kind of not sure if this is gonna be a blind decision to a certain respect. You're not gonna be sure what the outcome of it is going to be, and you're gonna feel as though you're continuing this long drawn out suspension where nothing's going on, like nothing's happening, everything's the same, rah, right? Just keep trying to make them upright, but there we go. Sorry about my lace. And then we have, but I think that you are on the right path, and this is the star. And you are on the right path, and you're on the right journey, and don't be feeling like, everything's changing. Sometimes things change really fast before they switch so quickly on you. So give it time. And I feel like, there is this kind of connection. Think of the solar plexus. When you meet someone and you feel it in your gut, there could be this internal knowing or self-awareness about where you need to go, and that's going to be coming to the surface. So you need to nurture your own instincts about which way you're going. Remember, so we're about halfway through, so I'll give you guys like a reminder. The whole thing is about overcoming. The first card was the Two of Cups. Switch back to the beginning to see it, but at the center, around the center, see, we're about halfway through, we see these string of trump cards, and I feel like, about when it's time to go, when it's the right path, when are you ready, what are you looking for, those kinds of things, and identifying and having confidence that you'll be able to recognize it when it's happening. Oh yeah, partnerships in a big way, and successful partnerships also to do with work and reciprocity. You're looking for somebody who is going to give back to you what you give to them, and that will be in a certain way manifested. There's going to be a teacher who comes to you. He's possibly a Sagittarius or Aries, but this guy's the investor. He has money and he just gives to others around him. And I think whether you're with this person or not, this person is going to teach you a lesson. So if you've been living with relationships that are in a certain way not giving to you financially, or not giving to you in reciprocity to that which you need. This King of Wands is going to remind you of the standard that you can expect from people. So it's like a, you know, he could be an older man, and not a sugar daddy. I'm saying like someone who has it together with regard to how to treat people, how to not like drive them into debt and all that stuff. So he could be very cordial, you know, very, very polite and kind. And I feel like he could be making an investment in something that you have going on. The Six of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Ace of Rods. It could be a sugar daddy, but I don't think the majority of my readers are, you know, maybe a agave daddy or something like that. So we have the Six of Rods, and it will lead to your success, overcoming, championing over issues. This is the main theme. These cards are very interrelated. The Chariot and the Six of Wands, overcoming situations, really moving past. This is winning other people's favor also. So it's like all of a sudden people like you, all of a sudden you're not doing so wrong. And this is maybe something you've been attacked in some way, and the first part of the reading was to do with this attack. Some low-key, low self-esteem, low energy person came through and said, okay, so sorry you guys, there's an emergency at YouTube. If somebody can check, I'll just keep going unless somebody can. Yeah, no, thank you. That's horrible. I don't feel comfortable continue reading. I promise you guys, I'll do a part 2, and and then I'll finish later, and maybe we should just stop now because it's a very serious thing. You guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Remember that the whole message is overcoming. Angie's one of our regular viewers. I know she's not creating unnecessary drama. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, the energy dropped. No, it's terrible. You guys just say your prayers, send Reiki, whatever you do. And yeah, we'll talk in a minute. I mean, we do this every day. I hope everybody's okay. Bye. Guys, thanks for joining me, and welcome to your reading for December 6th. What am I talking about? December 6th. I am. Yes, I can't believe it's December, that's all. December 6th or the 7th, depending on where you live. And we're doing the new moon reading, so you can watch it anytime in December to kind of see where a new beginning has started for you. And we're going to read for this sign, but before we begin, I usually do like an intro to the energy. So let's take a look at what general energies are guiding your sign for the month of December. Please make sure to like and comment the video. This will be very, very helpful to you. Okay, so because I'll put out more videos. Hey girl, hey. Okay, this is ridiculous. Okay, so let's see your first message. We have the Nine of Orbs. Not the first time. Worry and anxiety, stress, you know, whatever. 10 of Orbs. Bang! Somebody's not having a good month, or a beginning to the month anyway. Well, this can actually mean an end to the anxiety. So 9 becomes 10, of course. This is the 10 of Swords. This is the 9 of Swords. You feel weighed down by your current circumstances, and what that is leading into. Do you know about fight and flight? When we have a strong emotional reaction, our body actually can kind of turn off the anxious feelings and all the anxiety, and you can just become very calm. So you hear about people kind of going through that, and at some point just becoming very calm and kind of flatlining emotionally. So this is almost like this, like something quite shocking has been going on in your head, and then boom, you know, calm. Okay, so let's take a look at your card. This is Capricorn. Ooh, the calm in the storm. Okay, well, you guys have the most complicated transit. of the next 2 years. Dynamic, but also like really rewarding. Let's not beat this dead horse with a stick or milk this cow for any more milk. I don't know, whatever. The new moon is in your 12th house. Now, I've talked about Jupiter in the 12th house, but just in case you missed one of the other videos that are available in your Capricorn playlist, Jupiter in the 12th house flushes out everything that's happened in the last 12 years. Here is the new moon at 15 degrees of Sagittarius. And what's happening here is maybe some kind of new spiritual awakening, some kind of catharsis to circumstances, something to do with money, possibly as well. An opportunity for money through this time. Vesta is here with Altair, which is a fixed star that has to do with blessings, a urge to move forward with things. You know, Mercury has now gone. It's gone direct, and it's in Scorpio, about to move into Sag. This may be actually a good time to kind of act on some type of financial goal or start moving towards that in this direction. Naturally, people would feel at this time that inclinations towards money feel dangerous. That's Lilith in Aquarius. But Vesta counteracts that. She's a natural aptitude. It's not only Vesta. This fixed star called Altair is right here at 2 degrees of Aquarius. And so this gives Vesta so much more leverage to push forward against the downtrodden energy of Lilith. Okay, and in the 3rd house, what we're seeing is that we have Mars and Neptune together in Pisces, and what's going to happen here is there is like a creative way of going about things. And in the 3rd house, we're talking about communication, so, and also manifestation through the word, right? So manifesting through the word, making it happen. Mars in Pisces is not considered like the best transit from Pisces for Mars, but with Neptune here, it can get quite creative. A new door opening, a new way of seeing things. This is actually at a square to the new moon, so there are a lot of squares right now, which I kind of want to underemphasize because we know there is. But Uranus, for example, is in a perfect square from the nodes, that kind of stuff. Squares are not good energy. Well, not good. They create obstacles and challenges. So you may be feeling like you're kind of tripping over yourself a little bit. But you know, sometimes you just have to trip a little bit in order to get moving and get cracking on an energy. I mean, it is what it is, you know. It's not always like a cakewalk or a walk in a spring field, right? Sometimes it's a walk in, like, tripping over yourself, and that has a grace to itself as well. That has a beauty to it. Here is the next message. We have the 5 of chalices. So Capricorn's not having a nice new moon, and I hope you guys do not give me so many dislikes. Don't punish me for the energy. And anyway, so still give me likes and encouragement. I put a lot of effort into this. All I can say is you're turning a bad situation into a better situation emotionally. Something that had you within its grip and kind of pushing down on you just turns into some kind of regrettable disappointment. And I think that through the process of the next few months, maybe December, January, February or so, you may have several experiences where external parties will sort of disappoint you in order to re-emphasize you in the situation. You need to do more of you, Capricorn. Here is the next message, the 3 of Cups. So somebody wasn't taking things seriously, and it broke your heart and made you upset. And then we have the 5 of Flames. Stress, anxiety, and worry. What are these cards? And 3 of... Okay, finally. Geez, I was like, oh my goodness. So you're going to see a path forward once the feelings subside and once the feelings sort of become more calm. You will find a way forward, and I think that you will essentially turn... It becomes stressful. It becomes what was once a nightmare is becoming stressful and disappointing, and actually some good things are coming for you as you elevate your feelings about things, okay? And most likely the other people involved are feeling the same way, so you don't necessarily have to feel, oh, look at this, the Tower. So some good conclusions are coming as a byproduct of this, and I feel as though that there has been a lot of partying, a lot of just not taking things seriously, and essentially you take it upon yourself to take care of your life in a certain direction and responsible to your life. And this is the spiritual component, I suppose, the spiritual answer that you have to elevate. There could be disappointment and stress and worry, but you're no longer at the mercy of somebody else pulling strings. Nobody's your puppet master. Let's call this video that. And there you are, walking free, right? So it's a reading of freedom, and whoever gives me a dislike is an a-hole, pretty much. So, and this antivirus protection that keeps on giving me warnings while I'm doing other things. That, you know, sometimes that's more like malware. All those, the pop-ups are worse than the problematic programs. Okay, here's an angel card. So we have the Angel of Verdancy, Sokolov. And so I like this card. And I feel like this is, you know, when a volcano erupts, the soil of the earth that is left is so enriched with minerals from the eruption, from the magma, that luscious things grow. And so I feel like as a byproduct of everything that has been going on, and I'm putting this out there, I'm putting the video out there so you can very much in some way see what's going on, and many of you will resonate. So remember, whatever's going on in your outside world, and if this does not resonate for you, don't complain, don't give me dislikes, just leave it alone, because it's a message for someone, right? And it came out the way that it did for a reason. And I think that the lesson is, for those of you Capricorns, that you really must focus on yourself now. And the energy will keep on pushing and pushing you towards that capacity, right? So I hope it's not like this for you. It's not going to surprise you when you watch this. This is going to be the energy that you have already are aware of. So this is not going to creep up on you. Out of honesty for the readings, I'm going to keep it the way that it is. It's definitely an improvement, being pulled out from under some really negative beliefs, or being cornered in a very negative sense with many knives in your back, and walking away to a much brighter purpose, a really a brighter experience, a happier place. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will talk with you soon. Take care. Bye. Hi Leo, and thank you for joining me, and welcome to this introductory reading for your horoscope spread. I did the horoscope spread on Instagram, and so here is the clarifier readings that I talked about in the other videos. So this is a sample video, so you get a feel for what to expect through all the houses, but it's actually the most important video because it talks about the card in the center, or the core energy through which you are working through. Now I know it's really scary because it's the death card, but I would encourage you to believe that this is actually a beautiful card for you. It means that you're going to make the changes that are necessary. Specifically with regard to your fifth house, you know, you guys had that Saturn transit for the longest time in your fifth house, and you can see down there that now you have the Lovers there. So you're making changes and transformations that are really, really necessary in your life, and those things are just opening up doors for you. They're making a lot of opportunity for you with regard to where you want to go. Okay, so before we get into the meaning of this and clarify it so you guys see what I'm talking about, then let's just talk about what's available for you guys. So I did an overview reading for the year. It's the higher arcana reading that I do every year. and that's linked in the about section below. If you're watching this on Vimeo, there's no connection. I've decided to post this video on Vimeo as well as on YouTube, so you guys get a good sample. Unfortunately, on Instagram, I'm not able to link the individual house videos, so it's important that everybody knows how to get to it, and I just figured out that it's impossible through Instagram. So hopefully this year Instagram will upgrade its link feature, but you know, there's so much in the back end that they have to figure out to do that can become quite a handful. Okay, so the other video that I have is an astrological preview for January through June. I will do July through December later on in the year, and so that's linked down below as well. And of course, these readings. So we have a free reading on YouTube for the Higher Arcana, free reading for the astrology on YouTube, and I will be talking about the astrology in this video, so it's really a good idea if you're interested or you want to know that part of it to watch the astrology video first. My astrology videos for 2018 are 10 minutes each, so 10 to 15 minutes. I really tried to make them concise to give you a quick glimpse at what's going on with the astrology, because that can be a lot of information for people. I know that's TMI, but I'm explaining everything that you need to know. And so why don't we show you what we're going to do through each of your houses. So your core energy for 2018 is the Death card. Now this can, for some of you, mean Scorpio. Scorpio people could become very important in your life. But it can actually mean change and transformation. And I feel as though for many of you, this is a personal change and transformation that happens in your life, adapting to important things. Later on in the year, Jupiter will move into your 5th house. I feel like this transit with Saturn and Jupiter trailing right behind it is really beautiful, because Saturn has the tendency to weed out situations and weed through and kind of limit and cut things out, while Jupiter kind of is the sower of seeds, you know, the kind of planting seeds and bringing something in. So right after Saturn transits an area in your life, Jupiter flows in and gives abundance to that area. So because the 5th house has been impacted for 2.5 years, and for you that's the important house because you're the ruler of the 5th house. It's the house of fun, love, children, everything good in life. That's Leo. And so because that's been impacted for you, it's been a really hard 2.5 years. And so with Jupiter moving in November 2018 into your 5th house, you're just going to bounce back, and it's going to be beautiful. You're already bouncing back in January, but this is what the Death card is really about. That's why I'm kind of really going in deep, because I don't want you guys to worry that this is a bad omen. It's not. Your first message is the 7 of Pentacles. So this is a sign of fortune. This is a heads up. The cards that I'm clarifying with are the cards I read for you guys in every January. They're very rare. It's a rare deck I got as a present, and it's a Tarot de Baleine. It's a beautiful deck, and it's really old. It's from, I think, the 18th century. It's a remake, of course, but still very rare. And so some of the meanings and some of the astrological associations you'll see are different than a regular deck. So if something doesn't make sense for you, just hold on tight. I've actually found that this deck helped me grow a lot as a reader. So you can see this is Mercury. I would not associate 7 of Pentacles with Mercury, but it does say money, and I like money, so I'll give you that. Money, argent. It's also in French, so those of you who are French speakers, you do get like an extra bonus of enjoying the energy. So increase in fortune, it says. Puissant, incessant de la fortune. I don't know if I translated that well, but it does mean increase in fortune. 7 of Pentacles, investment in the future. This is the energy that you've brought into 2018 from 2017 and will maintain with you in 2018. I'm also reading on a really bright day, beautiful day, so you guys will get a little bit of a glare. We have the Queen of Swords. So yeah, you're kind of busted and BALLS. So yeah, you're busting that a little bit and cutting through things towards making long-term plans. The next message we have is the Four of Pentacles. Again, acquisition, sorry for my pronunciation, de bien, which means good acquisitions, meaning money as well. So I feel as though Four of Pentacles is often called the miser card or something like that, but for you it really represents an improvement in financial resources. So once we get through the three clarifiers, and so this is the oncoming energy, this is the central energy, and this is the closing out energy, transition into 2019, I will pick a card from the Angel Answers Oracle. And so the angel answers are very brief answers. They're like yes and no kind of things. So I would encourage that you put a question in your mind for that house, and then I'll give you like an 8-ball, an answer there. Okay? All right, so let's pick a card here. And so the answer for you guys is yes. So there you go. I love how with the light, the angel kind of appears out of the overexposure, but there she is. And she's bringing you a big yes for 2018. So whatever directions you intend on taking, they will be successful. There's not much emphasis in the beginning of the year in your second house of money. There's much more going on, well, sort of in Pisces when Mars is there in November. But until then, not much going on in your 8th house as well, besides Neptune, but Neptune's going to hang out there for a minute. So I would just suggest that although astrologically there's not much going on in terms of money, I think that that's really something that you are thinking about and managing well. The next message is from the chest, and so this is the last card I'll pick for you, and you get the Knight of Swords, but the Knight of Swords in this deck is actually the King of Swords. So the Queen and the King of Swords, I feel as though many of you will be working out logistical issues with regard to your partnership and marriage. If that's the case, there will be a lot of decisions to be made about fairness and order, and those things will come into focus. Sorry about the overexposure in this video. I'm going to try to fix it, but I don't want to close the blinds because it's, you know, November and a sunny day is rare in Vancouver in November, so I want to enjoy it. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful year. Happy New Year. Stay tuned for the videos for houses 1 through 12, and I will provide the links for those down below. Happy New Year, you guys. Talk to you soon, Leo. Big positive changes on the way. Let's figure out how to get them. Bye. Hi guys, thanks for joining me and welcome to your reading for December. I'm excited to be here with you guys, and we're going to take a look at this. This is your Lenormand reading, so I'm excited to do this for you. I love the Lenormand. This is the Gilded Reverie. Please make sure to like and comment the video. I'm excited to do these, but we do need them to grow, so comments help a lot. Okay, so let's take a look. I have these slippers that are near the color of my skin, my natural skin, and they're like fluffy, right? And I looked down, I'm like, I scared myself, like, what the heck happened to my skin? I forgot I was wearing them. Anyway, okay, I'm having a fun day. So let's take a look at your first energy. We have the Man. It's like, I was like, you're a freak. That's what I thought to myself. My skin's warped. Okay, then we have the Woman. Okay, back to the reading. And then we have the Child. Ooh, mom, dad, and baby, you know, both thinking about the same things, both coming together, love, family. Maybe this is your first time that you're spending holidays together because a baby was born. Or maybe somebody's thinking about babies and starting a family. That's all it looks like. Or maybe somebody's being childish. Hey girl, hey. Somebody could be being childish. But I think that it feels like the man is thinking about the woman and the woman's thinking about a child. So it's this kind of really synergy like reading. Here is the sign we're reading for. We're taking a look at Temperance, which is Sagittarius. Hey girl, hey. I was hoping it was Virgo, but no, it's you, alas. Okay, so I'm filming this during Sagittarius season, so happy birthday, guys. Here is the next card we have, and Jupiter's in your sign, the Fox. He's being witty. He's trying to be very smart about things. And then there's the Mask. There's deeper layers to the circumstance. There's deeper layers of understanding. There's like deeper layers to, I'm still laughing about my slippers. But anyway, there's deeper layers to the circumstance that you're going to understand. I think about the character of the people that you're considering these things with, or the people that you're interacting with. I feel as though the man is being very cunning, not necessarily in a bad way. He's really trying to figure out what the best way and use of time is to make something happen a certain direction. The next message is the Tower. So maybe there's a new beginning in business as well. Business is also a primary interest in December, but this baby, this child, could be a beginning of a business that a man and a woman are kind of joining forces on. However, I feel like he's learning more about her, and she doesn't necessarily see how actually calculated he is. So he's actually making his I think that, wow, it got so dark so fast. Okay, so he's actually may feel very welcoming and charming and open, but in fact he knows what's up and he's paying attention. Here is the next message. We have the Moon, and then we have the Whips, and then we have the Clover. Okay, Rover. So very good success in business. I feel as though something to do with popularity may be limited, because I think both people kind of understand all is not what it seems to be, and that appears later on. So it seems like everything's charming, everything's nice, and this is normal. This is just people being aware of these things. One person has more beneath than meets the eye. We all do, but specifically this person has more going on, has another perspective, has more opportunities, and one person is, or both of them are sort of cunning. So coming into partnership like that, or coming into partnership over issues like that, it's going to put a slow process on things. This is their defense strategy to the outside world. That doesn't mean they're bad for each other. It just means that they need to get over those defense mechanisms with each other. If they weren't there, it would have been just a full charming month full of romance and pleasure. But I think that because these things have to get worked out, it's going to slow things down. But your outcome is the Clover. So there's great success in both directions. On the bottom we have the Birds. Maybe gossip had led you on to the fact that there is more going on than what you thought. So success could come into this situation, but I do feel like it definitely is coming into the situation, but I think it's delayed because there's more going on than just two charming people. And I think they're both, whoever's watching. And if you're just two women or just two men, please adjust the reading to fit your interpretation or your arrangement. And what that means is either in a business, or maybe they're thinking of having a child, and it seems like they're very desireful of both, success. And in fact, I feel like the man wants business, the woman wants a child more, but there are some like common ground things that are very desirable right now that they share. And so I feel like, or something new, she may want something new if she's outside of, she doesn't want kids. And so I feel like But I feel like there has to be some things that need to be reconciled before they can enjoy the success that they're both prepared to work for. Here is an oracle card. We have the buffalo spirit. I don't know if you guys know about me, but I love buffalo. Like, I just love them. Bison and buffalo, oh my gosh. The abundant universe will provide. So just trust. People build up, you know, kind of discreet ways of doing things. They hide their intentions, not because they're shady or horrible. It's because the world is kind of weird sometimes. And so yeah, so they're basically, it is what it is, you know, sometimes. Yeah, so here is the next message, the message of rest. Yeah, let the situation rest. Know that it's coming to you nonetheless. And if you've seen something about him that is putting you off or making you nervous, or if you've seen something about her that seems duplicitous or dishonest, then just give it time to fix itself out. You know, virtue rises to the top, they say. I don't believe that, but I do feel like hopefully you will be on the winning side of that statement. Let's see the next message. We have Chateliel, which is the angel of silence. So at this time, not much is being said between you and your partner, but I think that both of your hearts are set on the same direction. So Khalil Gibran says that it's not about how the trees grow, it's just as long as they're growing in the same direction, right? So hopefully you and your tree are growing in the same direction, Temperance / Sagittarius, and I hope you have a happy holiday season. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.